Hippie chick, Marky C, Spacey Stacy, walking those streets all night. You go, ladies and Marky, go have some fun now. Let's go, girls.
Yo, 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 hello, how are we? I hope you're well. Finally, we're here. Yeah, I'm going to keep this intro for this trial anyway. And then I'll do mini intros here and there, so as and when I can do them. As I say, there's a lot of people in there from the chat. Did you spot Terry Martins and, Tracy V was in there? Because a lot of you don't know who some of these people are. So you also Robin G and Spacey Stacy and Hippie Chick. So there's a lot of people in there. You see a lot of people in there. Yeah, Spacey Stacy was in there. Tracy V was in there. Terry Martins was in there. Rhonda was in there. All the mods are in there. Missed it again, for fuck's sakes, Rhonda. I need to point you at the end of the fucking video. Hippie Chick's in there, Hippie Chick was in there about 5 times. She just loved being in photos, Hippie Chick does, so I put her in about 5 times. So, yeah. I forget who else is on there. There's a shit ton of people in there, as you can imagine. But, you know, he'll be on here. Couldn't tell who's who. No, I know. Chrissy the Crow was in there as well. One day I should do where just stop in, just tell everyone who's who. You know, I was there. Few surprisingly, yeah, you were there. You were in a few of them. I'm sure there could have been others as well. I just put some past videos together that I had and put them in. So it worked as it worked. Oh, was in quite a few? You were in quite a few. See you later, Rhonda. Don't worry at all, my darling. That, as I say, that intro will be the new intro for the next 2 weeks anyway, whilst this trial's ongoing. Then I'll try and do another one. I was definitely at the end with yes, go fuck yourself. Oh, good for you, hoodie. With yes, you were. I think you were in 3 of them. I think, yeah, I think 3, maybe 4, but 3 definitely. And Spacey Stacey loved it as well. She's in a couple. See, but we still let you win, Bex. We have the cutest little community, but we still let you win though. So we let in the strays as well. So we try and rehabilitate some people. So that's why we have people like Bexy. So, right, let's get going, shall we? Right, so I'm going to play. They are currently on lunch break, so we're going to play the morning session, and then we hopefully will catch up then. Let me just check something here. Hey June, you make me sad. Only 'cause Bex is here. I'm joking. I'm joking. Note how I said the community, not the leader. Hey, trust me, I ain't the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. I ain't the leader. The mods are the leaders. Do you think that I get to do whatever I want? Nah, the mods tell me what to do. And I love it. I fucking love the mods. Right, let's get it on. So, as I say, they say day 6, but it's day 3 for me. So, day 3, here we go. And yeah. You probably did, Robin. Right, here we go. And then, so tomorrow, because of obviously Josie, Mexi, Sarah P, we'll start later in the day, but we'll play from behind. So then hopefully we skip the lunch break and just play through. So that's what we'll do from now on. We'll do it like an hour and a half or something behind so we can catch up. So we don't have to have breaks and stuff. So right, let's go it on. Let's get going. Here we go. Hey, lovely. Hippie chick. I think every other photo was you in it. Hippie chick's a bit of a photo whore. Not just a YouTube whore. She's a bit of a photo whore. She likes to photobomb everything. I'm joking. She's not like that at all. She's unassuming. She's actually. I know people are surprised, but Hippie chick's actually a nice person. I know some of you are surprised at that, but she's actually a very nice person. She doesn't come across it, I know, but she is actually quite nice. Right, I press play. Let's go.
In essence, permits him to testify as to the facts as he observed them on December 4th, 20.
I know he's low because he's not using his mic, by the way. His mic. So if you look, this is his mic. That's his mic right there. He should pick it up and put it to his mouth, but he hasn't. So I love Spacey Stacey as well. Spacey Stacey is nice as well.
20.
Notice I don't say anything about Robin Shee. I'm joking. Robin Shee is lovely.
And Officer Rosser, I believe, was supplied a copy of that some time ago when he made the request by the marshal service.
I think it's true. The letter just simply limits the amount of information that's permitted to come out at the trial. Tim's right, he can speak to the facts and what his observations were that day. As far as investigative methods, procedures, that's out of bounds for both sides.
Right.
All right. Other than that, anything further need? All right, let's go get Jerry. You solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury your testimony in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Have a seat. Pull yourself up close to the microphone. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Morning.
Would you please state your name?
Christopher Korn.
Chris, when you speak, I want you to kind of look this direction for the jurors' benefit, so they can hear you when you speak and everything, okay? So are you, Mr. Korn, are you currently employed?
Yes, I'm self-employed.
And what type of business do you do?
Heating and cooling.
How long have you been in the heating and cooling business?
Roughly close to 20 years.
Were you working on December 4th of 2020?
Yes,
Okay, and what type of work were you doing around December 4th of 2020?
I was doing heating and cooling.
Do you want to
And
pull the
who were you
microphone
working
up,
for?
up closer to you? You don't have to keep leaning over.
Okay, okay. So back in December 4th of 2020, who were you working for then?
Franklin Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration.
Okay, and how long had you been working at that time for Franklin Heating and Cooling?
In 2020, 6 years.
And what type of duties did you have and go through it as far as your duties throughout your career there?
So my career, I started at Franklin as a service tech and slowly moved up to be service manager, and still ran calls with the other guys, worked every day with the other guys.
And would you do commercial, residential? What type of work?
I did both commercial and residential.
Did Franklin Heating and Cooling, did they provide a company vehicle?
Yeah, I drove a company van.
And when a lot of times I see these company vans and stuff, they have logos on them. Did your vehicles have logos?
Yes, it was labeled on the side of it, had our company name on it.
Now I want to kind of direct your attention to December 4th of 2020. You remember that day?
Yes,
Okay. And did you have a service call on Case Road?
yes,
All right. And did you go to Case Road? What type of work were you doing on Case?
I went there and was repairing a furnace.
And were you driving the Franklin Heating and Cooling loaded van?
Yeah, I was on the clock on running a service call for the company.
Your company, they had GPS on their vans. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us about that. Would they keep track of your time, or what was the purpose of the GPS system that were on the vans?
Well, the purpose of the GPS was because some of the guys would be unhonest of where they was at the time where they needed to be. So it was a better way to keep track of all the guys and know what time they showed up to the job and what time they left. And it even showed if they was sitting in their truck idling and the whole 9 yards.
Okay. And you're familiar with how those records work and how they were kept in
Yes.
the course of business? Okay. And your van also had a GPS on it. that day
Absolutely.
as well.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as it will be State's Exhibit 32 and ask if you can.
Have you seen it?
Oh, they- Sorry. Do you recognize what that is?
It looks like a GPS log.
Okay. And do you see what day it was referring to in the GPS log?
12/4 of 2020.
Okay. And does that look like it would be the GPS log for you on that day?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate copy of the GPS log for your van on that day?
Yes.
So look at the log here. Let me publish it on.
Yes.
Yeah. Rachel, I was trying to zoom in and. Is there a reason it's blurry? Come. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Korn, I'm going to direct your attention to the 12, do you see on here, the Case Road, entry?
Yes,
Okay. And how long were you, it says duration. Would that be, if you followed across duration, would that be how long you were on the job?
yes.
Okay. And we'll go through that line and just tell us what we've got there. Okay. It's got the date, right?
Yep.
What's the date?
12/4/2020 at 12:07 PM.
Okay. And that would be the date of what? The end date?
So yeah, that would be the time that I left Case Road.
All right. And I'm sorry, you arrived at about 11:40, I believe it said there. Is that right? We don't have to put it up. You had the arrival time as well, right?
Yes,
And what showed the arrival time?
11:40.
So you left at about, it looks like 12:07. Were you done with the job?
Yes.
And what were your intentions and plans at that point?
I had another job after that one, but I had a little bit of time in between, so I was thinking about lunch, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And do you remember what route you took to leave, to go to lunch or to kill a little bit of time before your next job?
I was on Ferris Road. And I was headed towards 71 to get on the freeway because my next call was in Grove City.
All right. So you would have gone Ferris to
Carl
Road.
to Ferris again.
Okay. When you, and did you take that route? Ferris to Carl?
Yes.
Did you, when you got to Carl Road, did you see anything at that point?
So when I was at the intersection of Carl Road, that's when I seen the car come around the corner with the gentleman in the car. Was pulling up to stop, and he come around the corner and looked like he was dancing, driving a little crazy, and just getting, bebopping around in his car.
Okay.
So it had my attention.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. Was there a vehicle in front of yours?
Yes,
And what type of vehicle was in front of yours?
it was a pickup truck.
And do you recall, was it the color or anything along those lines of the pickup?
It was a dark color, maybe black.
Was there anybody behind you?
There was another pickup truck behind me.
And when you say that the person that you saw, what type of vehicle was it that you saw make the left-hand turn from Carl and go past the truck in front of you?
It was just a little vehicle. Not sure what kind of car it was. It was just small.
So what, after you said that you saw somebody moving, did you see the person's hands?
Yes.
Okay, was there anything in the hands?
Not that I seen, no.
So could you see, did it happen fairly quick?
It happened really quick, yes.
What happened after that small car turned and went past the truck in front of you and past you? What's the next thing you saw?
So as I was watching the car pass me in the mirror, when I looked up, there was a truck making a U-turn in the middle of the intersection.
And go ahead, and then what happened after that?
He made his turn and drove past the truck behind me, and then it started making a turn.
Now, what were you thinking at this point?
I'm not sure. I knew at that point I was sitting between two police officers.
And what made you think that? Because they're unmarked cars, trucks.
So the front one turned around, and then when the back one was making his U-turn, I seen lights on the truck.
What did, when you say that, describe that. Was it, were they on all the time, or you describe it?
I'd seen him turn them on and make the U-turn.
Did they stay on?
I don't believe so.
So it's just something flick on, make a quick U-turn. It's what you recall.
Yeah, that's how I knew that it was police officers.
So what did you do then? Did the other truck turn around too?
Yes.
And what did you do?
So I waited through the light, and when the light turned green, I made a left-hand turn on Carl, and then I turned into the first driveway and made a U-turn myself and went back.
And why did you go back?
I don't really know why I went back. I just thought that there was about to be a SWAT raid or something, and I was following them back to see what was going on.
And where did you go when you went back?
So I went down Ferris and turned up the first road to the right.
And what road would that have been?
The States.
States Place? And when you turned onto Estates, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happened, what you saw.
So I drove down to the end of the road, and when I got to the end, I saw the trucks at the corner of the road, and I pulled over before I made it to the corner and was just sitting there to see what was going on and didn't really see much. So after I sat there for a couple of minutes, I heard a lot of police sirens in the area, like they was headed that way. So I started to find my way back out of the road.
While you were sitting there, did you see anybody that looked like law enforcement or anything? While you were sitting?
There was just one person that walked up to one of the trucks.
Okay. And did you see what happened at the truck? Was the truck?
No,
Do you remember whether any truck doors were open, shut, or anything along those lines?
I don't remember.
So you indicated at that time that you were going to make your way back. What were you going to proceed with your day? Go
Yeah.
to the next job or to lunch?
Probably to lunch.
And what route were you trying to go back? Were you planning on taking the Estates to Carl
To the freeway, yeah. Yep.
Now, I've got marked as States Exhibit 34 and 35, which are copies of the surveillance intersection. Okay, 34 being Ferris and Carl, and 35 being 34 is Ferris and looking Ferris and States area, 35 looking at Ferris and Carl. Have you reviewed those?
Yes.
Okay, and were those fair and accurate depiction of the surveillance videos of those intersections as they appeared to you on December 4th?
Yes. Yeah.
34, Your Honor, if we may, and we'll start at the 9-minute, 4-second. I might have, let me pause it 1 second. These are real long surveillance films, so we're going to move it up with the different parts. And you've looked at this before, is that correct?
Yes.
So 9 minutes and 4 seconds might be a little far back, but let's start there. Okay, you can pause it there. Do you know which direction we're looking at now?
So we're looking back down Ferris away from Carl Road.
Okay, and that would be towards the States.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see anything there that you recognize? Stop it there. Do you recognize that truck?
Yeah, that's the truck that it was in front of me.
Okay. It's in. Do you recognize the van that's coming?
Yes, that would be me.
Is that the van that you were driving that day?
Yep.
For Franklin Heating?
Yes.
Now we see another vehicle turning in the back. We'll just go ahead and play. You recognize that?
That's the one that was behind me, yes.
So it looks like you were in between the two trucks that you had previously described. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, if I would, if we could just, you testified that you had left the area going from Carl back to Estates. When you were done, you said, hey, I'm going to get out of here. So if you advance the video to 17, I think you go to 17, 15. You got that, Steve? Now we see a squad turning onto Estates Place, but let me know when we see your vehicle or a vehicle you recognize.
That's my van right there.
All right, stop there. Saying, I see. Is that your van?
Yes.
And is that you after everything that you witnessed, and this is you on your way out
Yes.
to leave the area?
Yeah.
And I see you slowed down there. Do you recall what you were doing when you slowed down at the, would that be at Estates Place?
I just slowed down to look down the road at all the emergency vehicles that was on their way in.
Did you see a lot of sirens, emergency vehicles, and everybody responded to this?
Yes.
You can go ahead. Now I'm going to like to show you State's Exhibit 35. Okay. This will be showing the intersection at Ferris and Carl, and that's where you were driving up to Carl.
Yes.
Take it up to the 9-minute. Okay, Mr. Corn, if you'd watch the video and let me regulations and maybe see any vehicles that you recognize.
Looks like the first truck.
That's the first truck, and that's the first truck traveling towards Carl Road, correct?
Yes. That's me.
That's you. And you see the first truck still moving?
Yeah.
Okay. That's you. And then what?
That's the second truck.
All right. Just go ahead and play. Now what do you see?
The Goodson car just passed.
So that was what later you became aware of.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time who or what.
Tell me when you first see the Goodson car passing yours.
When I first see it.
Yeah, back up. That's the first truck approaching the intersection?
Yep.
There you are, correct?
Yes.
And here comes the second. Now,
I'd say right about now is when I was looking at him.
all right. Okay, you can go ahead and continue playing. We'll go ahead and forward. We're going to pause it at 11:12. Yes. And so that's everybody. You see what you see. Describe for us. Is that the truck that turned around?
Yes, he's taking off now. And look, there's the other one turning around right behind me.
And now what are you doing?
I'm making a left on Carl,
And so what was your intentions at that point?
find somewhere to turn around and go back and see what was going on.
Go ahead and run it. You see your van?
Yes.
And
Right
is
there.
that you?
Yep, coming back.
The right-hand turn back onto Ferris. Is that your van?
Yes.
Back there?
Yep.
Previously testified to. Now, you'd move it up to 17 minutes. All right, now you said that again, you already showed the video looking the other direction of you leaving. Would you let me know when you see your vehicle leaving?
There I go.
You're going past 1751. That's your van?
Yes.
Okay, and that's when you left, and then you did not return?
No.
Now, Mr. Korn, at the time you left Estates Place and after witnessing all this, did you have any idea what had taken place?
No.
Did you eventually hear later on in the day or in the days to come as to thought that maybe you would?
Yeah, it was. I heard about it on the radio later that day in the truck that there was a police-involved shooting, but I didn't put two and two together until I actually seen it on the news.
Okay, and do you remember what it is that you heard or what you saw on the news back then?
I don't remember.
Objections or what you saw or heard on the news.
This thing, that's a question.
So, all right, thank you, Your Honor. Now, you did hear that it was an officer-related shooting,
Yes.
right? And at that time, did you sit there and think, well, hey, should I call the police or anything along those lines?
I don't know what I was thinking at the moment. I was just surprised that it happened, and I saw it on the news.
And did you tell anybody that, hey, I was there later in the following days? Were anybody that you had been there?
My dispatcher from work knew about it because she answers the phone in between every service call I run, and then I might have talked about it a little.
Okay, all right. Now, let's get it clear. You didn't see anything, the shooting or anything that took place when you were on the stage?
No, I didn't.
So at this point, you saw all the sirens and everybody showing up and the response teams that are showing up.
Correct.
So you knew something had taken place,
Yes.
right? And, so you was there any cause or concern at this point that, hey, maybe I should call the police or report this to law enforcement that you were there?
No.
Did any law enforcement ever contact you?
No.
Okay. The first contact that you ever had with law enforcement would have been in like February of 2024, is that correct?
Objection, we asked the question.
Overruled.
Would have been February of 2024.
Yes.
Throughout those 3 years, okay, did any law enforcement ever contact you?
No.
And did you just go on with your life?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any at that point, like, hey, you saw something and you went on doing your business, family, and everything else?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Had you heard about the case periodically through the years?
I mean, maybe once or twice here or there, but nothing that really stuck, like made me think about it.
And did you think that there was anything of really significance or importance that you didn't know about the facts of the case? Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, in February of 2024, were you aware of a proceeding that had been taking place involving this case?
Yes.
And did you become more aware as to what some of the facts were that were surrounding this case?
Yes.
At that point in time, did you think, well, maybe you did have some information because your van's in between the two trucks that were involved in this matter?
Yeah.
Did you at that point in time try to say, hey, maybe I should reach out to someone?
Yes.
Okay. So let's back up because you testified, you did see what became known to you as the Goodson car pass the first truck and pass you. And you were able to see that there was his hands and dancing, and you thought that that would be of something significance that you should report.
Objection. Leave
Right.
that.
Approach.
So were you on, did you have Facebook back at that time?
Yes,
What other social media?
that's it.
Now, in 2024, when you said that thought, did you post on social media?
I don't remember doing it in 2024.
You remember what year it was?
I think I posted something like a week after the incident.
So tell us, that would be the only time that you would have posted something about what you saw.
Correct.
And at that time, you didn't know what was germane or not germane or whatever. It's just.
Right.
Okay. So tell me about what did you do back in February of 24? What did you do? You said, hey, maybe I should come. What did you do? Did you try to contact anyone?
I tried to reach out to the court. I didn't know who to call, so I was just Googling and on Facebook looking for people, and apparently it was Mr. Walton. I was calling his office.
Okay. And you'll have to explain who Mr. Walton is, but so all these years, or 3 years, nobody had contact, no law enforcement. So you were trying to find somebody to find out what you need to do.
Yes.
And what was your understanding of who Mr. Walton is?
At the time, I thought he worked with you.
Like, did you find out otherwise as to who he was?
Yes.
And who is?
He's on the defendant's team, or the Casey Goodson Jr.'s team.
Is he the attorney for the Goodson?
Yes.
And so did you try to reach out to him or his office to say, look, I might have something that would be useful?
Staying.
I made 2 phone calls.
Did you ever get through to him?
No, it was the secretary took the phone calls both times.
Now, during this period of time, did you search on the internet, search on Facebook as to who would be part of the case or whatever that you reach out?
Yes.
Okay. And who were you trying to contact? Just let them know, what should I do?
Honestly, I don't know who I was trying to contact. I was just trying to figure it out.
Did you look at the Goodsons? They had a Facebook, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you look at their Facebook stuff?
Yes.
And is that how you came up with Mr. Walton?
Who's that?
Is that how you came up with their attorney?
Yes.
So when you made these phone calls or tried to contact the attorney, did someone contact you?
I believe it was you.
Okay. Well, the prosecutor.
Yes.
Okay. Whether it was me or one of the prosecutors, but it was on the prosecutor's side. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you ever speak to Mr. Walton?
No.
Have you ever spoken to the Goodson family?
No.
So as a result of reaching out to the prosecutors, did you also end up speaking to law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. And was it the FBI?
Yes. It was after I reached out, they interviewed me.
And was it Columbus police detective, I believe, was there?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you then did speak to the defense team. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you sat for a deposition with them.
Yes.
Is that correct? Objection.
Counsel, approach.
Now, during the interviews with the law enforcement, prosecutor, there were a lot of questions asked. Is that right?
Yes.
And were you going based on your point?
Yes.
You didn't take notes.
No.
You didn't make reports.
No.
But you remember this.
Yes.
And that's why you're reaching.
Yes.
So they asked you a lot of questions about whether you.
Your Honor, objection. This is just continued.
Not sustained.
Did they ask you questions about, color cars?
Objection.
Description.
Sustained.
What type of questions did they ask you?
All the important ones about the car that I've seen and just going over what I witnessed.
And did they did you tell them what you saw in the car? What was it?
I didn't see nothing.
But what did you tell them? What did you tell them about when the car passed? And you said, what did you see?
I saw a gentleman dancing in the car.
And did you relay as to whether or not what you said in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Mr. Korn, is what you've described today, is that what you saw December 4th,
Yes.
at that intersection? And you're sure of that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Any cross-examination?
Gordon, how are you?
Good.
We've met before, haven't we?
Yes.
And Mr. Schroyer talked to you about the number of times you've been interviewed. That's been quite a few, hasn't
Yes.
it? Isn't it true that the first interview that was conducted of you was conducted by the prosecutor, Mr. Merkel, and Mr. Schroyer by phone, wasn't it?
Yes.
And isn't it true the following day after you submitted to the interview with Mr. Schroyer and Mr. Merkel, the FBI interview? Right?
Yes.
And those were both audio tape, weren't they?
Yes.
And have you heard those audio tapes?
No.
But you know they were audio, right?
Yes.
And Mr. Schroyer asked if you spoke to the defense in the case, and that did happen, didn't it?
Yes.
And it was at my office a few days after you were interviewed by the FBI, right?
Yep.
And isn't it true that that interview that was conducted of you at my office by me, a court reporter was present, wasn't she?
Yes.
And you were submitted to that questioning while you're under oath, right?
Yes.
And you also testified in this courtroom 2 years ago, true?
Yeah.
And that too was under oath, right?
Yes.
And there was also a court reporter that captured everything that you said during that proceeding, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about December the 4th of 2020. You said that you just finished a service call on Case Road and were ready to break for lunch, right?
Yes.
And so somehow you found yourself on Ferris Road traveling westbound towards Carl, right?
Yes.
Your intention was to get to I-71 that day, right?
Yep.
And so Mr. Schroyer, I think, showed you State's Exhibit 35. I would like to also, and we've talked about Exhibit 35 before, haven't we?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes.
And I would like to show that to you once more and kind of slow it down a little bit. You've already identified the cars, but I'm more interested in the timing of the cars as they come into the frame, okay?
Yep.
So we may start and stop and start it, but if I could ask Ms. Stevens to assist me here. Before we start, Mr. Korn, this is the view of westbound Ferris as you're approaching Carl Road, right? If I can use this pointer, if it will work, which I'm not sure it will. Okay, this is the traffic light at Carl and Ferris, right?
Correct.
And so this direction here would be westbound, correct?
Yes.
All right. So if you could roll the frame. Okay, stop. So you would agree that at about the 9:19, 9:18 mark, this is Mr. Meade's truck, right?
Yes.
And you've identified that, right?
Yes.
Okay. If it's 9:18, 9:19, please continue, Ms. Stevens. So stop. So at 9:28, this is your vehicle, correct?
Yes.
So you're between 9 and 10 seconds behind Mr. Meade's vehicle. Isn't that true?
Yes.
But again, you're going to the same intersection, right?
Yes.
So if you could continue on. 9:32, stop. Okay, Mr. Meade's truck is right there at the intersection, true?
Correct.
And I believe, did you see the vehicle that was driven by Mr. Goodson coming southbound on Carl Road?
I've seen it on the camera, yeah.
So at the 9:32, it's about to make a turn onto Ferris Road. Isn't that true? And at this point, you can see Mr. Meade's brake lights, right? And you're still 9 or 10 seconds behind him, true?
Right.
All right. So if you could continue. So stop. So Mr. Meade's brake lights are engaged, right?
Yes.
Mr. Goodson's car, this dark little hatchback, is right next to Mr. Meade, right?
Correct.
And that's at the 9:35 point, right?
Yes.
And so your vehicle hasn't even begun to stop. Isn't that true?
Looks like it.
Don't see brake lights, do you?
No.
So if you could continue on. Stop. Looks like at about the 936 mark or 937 mark, Mr. Goodson's car is next to your vehicle, true?
Yes.
And again, no brake lights on your vehicle at this point, right?
I can't really tell.
All right. But you would agree it's right next to yours, right? And you're some distance behind Mr. Meade, true?
Correct.
You haven't come to a stop, have you?
No.
Please continue. Okay. At 940, looks like your vehicle is right behind Mr. Meade's vehicle, right?
Yes.
And by that time, he's already started to make a U-turn, hasn't he?
Correct.
And so if we know that Mr. Goodson's car is by Mr. Meade's at 935, within 5 or 6 seconds, he's begun his U-turn, hasn't he?
Yes.
Continue on. So this U-turn's occurring right in front of you, right?
Yes.
And continue on, Ms. Stevens. So at 9:45, your truck is first in line to make a left-hand turn down to Carl, right?
Correct.
Come to a complete stop at that point, right?
Still can't tell my brake lights are on though.
But still may be moving somewhat. So you would agree that when Mr. Goodson's car is by Mr. Meade's truck, your vehicle is still moving. Isn't that true?
Correct.
You would agree that you can't see the intersection when Mr. Goodson is turning onto it. Isn't that true?
Correct.
The reason for that is Mr. Meade's truck is directly in front of yours, right?
Yes.
Now, we talked about some of the statements that you've made during the course of this case. Let's talk about the first interview you gave to Mr. Merkel and Mr. Schroyer. Isn't it true that during that interview that you told Mr. Merkel and Schroyer that you saw Mr. Goodson's car coming down Carl Road? Isn't that true?
I don't remember.
Do you remember making a statement?
If that's what I said, I would have
You
assumed.
saw him early in the.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I don't remember what I said.
But hearing that interview, refresh your recollection.
Sure.
All right, like,
One approach.
we can, there are probably 5 or 6 of these, just to see.
15. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take out 15, maybe 20.
Yes, that's the question.
If we can, there are probably 5 or 6 of these, just to see how many there are, need to refresh the recollection. And then we don't have to keep training the jury in that.
He's at.
You got the break.
So prosecution said what?
Hello, CG.
A break. Do not discuss this case among yourselves. Do not permit anyone to discuss it with.
All rise.
So you don't remember telling Mr. Merkel and Schroyer?
So this is outside the presence of the jury then? This bit.
Everyone can have a seat.
So you don't remember telling Mr. Merkel and Schroyer that you could see Mr. Goodson's car coming down Carl Road? Is that right? No. And you remember the following day when you were interviewed by the FBI that you told the FBI that the first time you saw Mr. Goodson's car was when it came around the nose of Mr. Meade's truck.
Correct.
And so the issue you need your recollection refreshed on is what you told Mr. Merkel and Schroyer, right? Yes?
I guess.
So your attention was drawn to Mr. Goodson's car because of his erratic driving. Is that right?
Yes.
And you said that Mr. Goodson's car almost hit your van, right?
He was swerving a little bit.
You said it almost hit your van. Didn't you say that?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? You remember that you told Mr. Merkel that Mr. Goodson's erratic driving caused him to take the corner wide.
Correct.
And did you remember that when you were shown the video, that the video didn't depict Mr. Goodson's car taking the corner wide?
Yeah.
You agree with that?
The video don't show it.
Right. You agree with that?
Yes.
And you remember telling Mr. Merkel that Goodson's erratic driving was because of the fact that he took his hand off the wheel. Remember that?
Correct.
And you remember being asked that if you could depict or point to the moment in time when he took his hand off the wheel. Remember that?
No.
You remember saying, I couldn't see in the video when he took his hand off the wheel?
No.
You remember telling Mr. Merkel that you didn't remember how Mr. Goodson was dressed?
Correct.
And the reason you couldn't remember it was because he was traveling in the opposite direction that you were traveling. Remember that?
No.
And did you tell Mr. Merkel that the person driving the dark hatchback that we now was driven by Mr. Goodson had big hair? He had an afro. Remember that?
I remember big hair.
Remember saying afro?
I said an afro, but I just remember big hair.
You remember the following day telling the FBI that you believed that the driver was a female.
Because of the hair. It was big hair.
Did you tell the FBI that you believed that the driver was a female?
Yes.
Did you tell the FBI that the person driving the vehicle had a ponytail?
I don't remember that.
Is it true that you never described the driver as wearing a hoodie?
I don't remember that.
You remember that you never described the driver as wearing a skull cap?
Right.
You remember that you never described Mr. Goodson as having his hood up?
No.
Did you remember that you told us that you didn't see earbuds in Mr. Goodson's ears?
Yes.
Now, you previously testified that the reason that you determined that the truck in front of you was a law enforcement vehicle was that pursuit lights or emergency lights were engaged after Mr. Goodson's car drove by. Remember that?
Correct.
Remember being asked to show on the video when the lights were engaged on the pickup truck?
No.
You remember telling us that you couldn't see that the lights were engaged on the pickup truck?
No.
You remember telling the FBI that you were 99% sure that you couldn't see a gun in Mr. Goodson's hand when he drove by?
Yeah.
And that Mr. Goodson had his right hand in the air when he traveled by. You remember saying that?
Yes.
You remember telling the FBI, or actually you told me at the deposition, it's entirely possible that Mr. Meade saw something you didn't see.
Correct.
And that Mr. Meade's U-turn was a reaction to Mr. Goodson's car turning onto Ferris Road. Do you remember saying that?
No.
Remember telling the FBI that after you parked your car on a state's place or your truck, that you saw Mr. Meade out of his truck?
No.
Remember telling the FBI that you saw Mr. Meade with a rifle slung over his body?
I saw a person. I don't know that I put a name on it. No.
Remember saying that you saw Jason Meade wearing a vest?
No.
Remember telling the FBI that you said that Jason Meade had markings on the vest and it said police?
I don't remember.
You remember?
You said there was about 9 of them going through this whole cross-examination. I just let him listen to these tapes. And then
We
we
will.
can ask. Okay. But
Overruled.
basically going through his whole cross line. And,
But I'm not going to have the jury come in and out 27 times. So let him finish his questioning and we can listen to the recordings.
let him listen to the recordings now and then go forward.
We will. Let me finish. You remember telling Mr. Merkel that you drove out on the state's place and turned left onto Ferris Road?
Yes.
Remember telling the FBI that you drove out on the state's place and turned on to Ferris Road?
Yes.
Remember the FBI showing you the video that does not depict you traveling out on a state's place, turning left onto Ferris Road?
Yes.
You remember telling the FBI that you were 99% sure that you traveled out on a state's place and turned left on Ferris Road?
Yes.
Mr. Shore actually asked you about Facebook. Do you remember deleting your Facebook page?
Yes.
Remember that occurred before you testified in 2024.
Yes.
Remember that you were the one that deleted your Facebook page.
Yes.
Remember that you took down all of the postings that you made about news accounts that drive.
Yes,
And that you alone made that decision to take that down, right?
yes,
And the reason that you took down your Facebook page was because of all of the friend requests that you were getting.
yes,
You remember that you didn't tell the FBI about taking down your Facebook page.
correct.
Remember that you didn't tell the FBI about any.
What's going crazy? He's getting all the answers, yes, all the yes answers, and not that he can't remember, okay? But now we go through, and he's not gonna ask those questions.
I wouldn't have.
But
The jury hasn't heard of it.
the whole point,
Hey, do not speak over each other.
this whole point is refresh his recollection with the stage, and then try to refresh his recollection, he listens to him, and then ask him the questions. If he still doesn't remember, even though he listened to the tape, then that's it. But for him to get a dry run of cross-examination.
He already had a dry run multiple times. Mr. Stroyer, let him finish the question so we can move along.
You remember you didn't tell the FBI about your Facebook connection with Kamala Payne.
Correct.
Remember that you didn't tell the FBI about taking down your Facebook page.
Correct.
You didn't tell the FBI about taking down all the posts that you made about news accounts.
Yes,
Your Honor, I think that's it. So we can assemble the audio tapes and go through them one by one.
Do you have them ready or?
We have them. It's just a matter of, and the counters are pretty easily found. So we have the counters. Yes.
Let's take about a 5-minute recess.
Casey Goodson coming down Carl. And when he made the left turn on the Ferris Road, I looked.
Does that refresh your recollection as to whether or not you told Mr. Merkel that you saw Casey Goodson's car coming down Carl Road?
so when I seen him coming down, I didn't see him.
I don't think it's time to.
I didn't see him until we passed the truck.
So you deny telling Mr. Merkel that you saw Casey Goodson's car coming down Carl Road.
Well, that's where it came from.
Did you see the car coming down Carl Road or not? Yes or no? You deny saying that to Mr. Merkel.
I don't deny saying it.
Okay. Let's go to the second one. Mr. Goodson's car almost hit your van. You didn't recall saying that either.
Okay.
So I watched him in my mirror, watched him go. By the time I looked back
Can we do anything?
road, I looked right at the kid.
Okay.
He did not have a gun. I'll tell you what I seen is that the kid was dancing in his car. He was just moving very erratic. He was driving erratic to where he looked like he was going to almost hit my van.
You recall telling Mr. Merkel you almost hit your van.
Yeah.
That was your voice, right?
That's not what he said. That's exactly what it looked like. A big difference.
I can't hear it, so I don't know what's. Play it again if you want to.
Would you like to hear it again, Mr. Ford? No?
No.
Let's go to 520 when the issue about the person's hair that was driving the dark hatchback is discussed.
Recognize that car being the same guy that I noticed driving pretty erratic.
Okay. All right.
And I noticed because the car, and I noticed the guy's hair, he had real big hair, like an afro, and, you know.
Did you hear that, Mr. Corn?
Yes,
So you did say that the person had big hair like an afro, correct?
yes.
You acknowledge.
He already admitted that. Are we going to go through all these? It's something.
Yes. I would assume we are.
He didn't deny it. He asked. Now we're going through all these. Part of it, he's.
Let's move to the FBI interviews. I asked you if you remember telling the FBI that the person driving the dark hatchback had a ponytail. Remember that? I asked you that question?
Yes.
And you remember you couldn't recall if you told the FBI that the person that you saw had a ponytail, right?
Right.
So they asked to go to the FBI interview about 11:31 May.
Then what happens?
So as we're pulling up to the light, the little car come around the corner, and he was driving super fast and erratic, and it looked to me like he was dancing in the car. He was definitely singing, doing
Yeah.
something, it made me look. I looked right at him face to face. When I first seen the guy, he had this big ponytail, so I actually thought it was a female for a split 2nd,
Mhm.
and then as he got closer to me, that's when I realized it was a male driving.
So that's your voice, right?
Yeah.
You remember telling the FBI person had a ponytail, right?
Yes.
Let's go to FBI interview 24-50, and that's seeing Jason Meade out of the truck.
Had police on the front?
I think so.
Okay.
Big picture window at me, and I'm like,
Could you tell what kind of weapon he had?
he had an assault rifle.
He had an assault
And
rifle.
it looked like it was just on a string hanging in front of him. I don't think it was in his hands.
Okay. All right. And was he wearing, could you see any markings on his body or anything like that? Would it say police or
He had a vest on, I believe, and I think it said police on the front of it.
had police on the front?
I think so.
Okay. What color was it?
Black.
Black. Okay.
Is that your voice?
Yeah.
Remember describing the person that you saw as having an assault rifle slung over his body, bulletproof vest with markings on it?
Yes.
That assist you in refreshing your recollection?
Sure.
You have a moment, Charlie. I think that's just right.
Do you need a break, or do you want me to bring in the jury? Hopefully get this witness done this week. Go get jury.
All rise.
We're gonna have a seat. And you may continue.
Thank you. So, Mr. Korn, I believe your testimony is the first time you see Mr. Goodson's vehicle is when it comes around the nose of Mr. Meade's truck.
Correct.
Didn't see it before then.
No.
And your attention was drawn to this vehicle because of what you perceived to be erratic driving, right?
Yes. And the movement inside the vehicle.
Yes. What you described as almost a dancing-like motion, right? And isn't it true that you believe that the Mr. Goodson's car was about to hit you?
It could have. Yes.
At least that's what your thought was when you saw the erratic driving, right?
Yes.
And when we reviewed this video that we just have seen, isn't it true that I asked you to point out when you saw the vehicle driving erratically, almost leaving the road, and you said that the video doesn't depict that? Isn't that true?
It is true. If there was a video over top of us pointing directly down, you would have
Sorry?
seen it.
I didn't hear you.
If there was a downward facing video, but the angle of that camera don't show it.
The camera, that camera angle also doesn't show the vehicle leaving the road, right? True?
Because it's on the wrong side.
Now, you told Mr. Merkel in his interview that you couldn't remember how Mr. Goodson was dressed. Isn't that right?
I believe so, yes.
And the reason that you couldn't determine how Mr. Goodson was dressed was because his vehicle was going the opposite direction as yours,
Yes.
right? So you were going west, he was going east. You couldn't tell what clothing he had on, right?
I wasn't paying attention to his clothes.
So I did also describe to Mr. Merkel that the person driving the car had big hair, right?
Yes.
It was an afro, at least what it appeared to you to be an afro.
Just something that stuck out with his hair.
And isn't it true that the following day you thought to the FBI that the person might have been a female initially
Could have been.
and that the person had a ponytail, right?
Yes.
And isn't it true that in any of your interviews, you never described Mr. Goodson as wearing a hoodie, right?
Correct.
He never was wearing a skull cap, right?
Correct.
And you thought that he was moving his mouth as if he was singing, right?
Yes.
And you didn't see earbuds in his ears, right?
Nope.
Now, I believe that your testimony is that the truck in front of you at the intersection of Ferris and Carl was Mr. Meade's, right? You didn't know it then, but
I
now
didn't
you
know
know.
it then, yes.
And you were able to identify that vehicle as a law enforcement vehicle simply because the lights were engaged, right?
Yes.
Red and blue lights, I think you described, right?
Yes.
I think you also described the taillights as flashing, right?
I believe so, yes.
Isn't it true that when we review that video that the taillights aren't depicted as flashing, right?
Correct.
And the red and blue lights are not depicted in the video. Isn't that true?
Correct.
So the video that we saw, Exhibit 35, doesn't show a wide turn by Mr. Goodson's vehicle. You agree with that?
Yes.
You agree that the video doesn't show Mr. Goodson's vehicle almost hitting your van, right? The video doesn't show the red and blue pursuit lights on Mr. Meade's vehicle being engaged, right?
Correct.
And it also doesn't show the white taillights flickering or being engaged during the U-turn. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Now, I believe that when you were interviewed by the FBI, you told them that you were 99% sure that you didn't see a gun in Mr. Goodson's hand when he drove by. Isn't that right?
Yes.
99%, right?
Yes.
And Mr. Goodson's right hand was in the air when he passed you, right?
Yes.
That's what you saw, correct?
Yes.
And you also told me during the deposition that it's entirely possible that Mr. Meade saw something that you didn't. Isn't that true?
Possibly.
And that you agreed that your truck wasn't even stopped and near Mr. Meade's vehicle when Mr. Goodson's vehicle passed Mr. Meade. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Now, you also agreed during the deposition, isn't it true, that Mr. Meade's U-turn was in reaction to Mr. Goodson's vehicle passing his? Isn't that right?
I don't remember that.
Right, come back to that. And are you aware, or you are aware, that there was a gun found
Yes.
next to Mr. Goodson, right? You're aware that that gun is his, right?
Yes.
So after you see these lights engaged, you decide that you're going to follow Mr. Meade, right?
Yes.
I think you previously said to the FBI that you wanted to see some action, right?
Yes.
Your adrenaline was pumped, right?
Yep.
You wanted to see cops kick down some doors, right? And so that's the reason that you decided to follow Mr. Meade, right? As well as the truck behind you, correct? Now, you know who Sheila Staniford is, right?
Who?
Sheila Staniford? But didn't you watch her testimony the first trial? Objection.
Overruled.
Got a lot.
May we approach?
May continue.
Mr. Corn, once you turned onto the State's Place, I believe your testimony was you virtually traveled to the end of the State's Place and parked your vehicle, right?
Correct.
And there were homes that would have been to the right of your vehicle as you were parked, correct?
Yes.
Isn't it true that there was an individual that was filming from inside the home, right?
I don't know if they was filming, but yes, there was people in the window looking at me.
And you were concerned about that, correct?
I didn't know what was going on.
So as a result, you wanted to leave, right?
Yes.
And you wanted to leave simply because you didn't want to get stuck there all day, right?
Yes.
Now, you never saw the shooting, right?
No.
Never heard shots, right?
No.
And after you parked your vehicle, isn't it true that you saw a person you later identified to be Mr. Meade come out onto the street?
There was
With a rifle slung over his shoulder.
one person walked to the truck.
And you could see the person's ballistic vest, right?
Yes.
And you could clearly see that it said, at least you remember it saying police on it, right? And how far from that person were you when you saw this ballistic vest that said police?
At least 2 or 3 houses down.
So orient us, is that 50, 60 feet?
50, 60.
All right. So it was prominent to you, right? It was prominent enough that you could see it from 50 or 60 feet, right?
Yes.
Now, I believe that when Mr. Merkel interviewed you, he wanted to know your route of travel once you decided to leave a State's Place, correct?
Yes.
He asked you to paint the picture of how you left a State's Place, didn't he?
Yes.
And isn't it true that when you responded to Mr. Merkel's question, that you told him that you went all the way up the State's Place to Ferris, right?
Yes.
And isn't it true that you told Mr. Merkel that you passed several police cars while you were traveling north on the State's Place,
Yes.
right? And the FBI asked you the same question the following day, didn't they?
Yes.
Because they too wanted to know what direction that you were traveling to get out of that scene, right?
Yes.
Because that was an emergency scene at that point, right?
Yes.
And isn't it true that you told the FBI the same thing, that you traveled north on the State's Place to get to Ferris, right?
Correct.
But yep, and I think that you told the FBI that you were 99% sure that that was the direction that you took, right? The same 99% sure that you attributed to Mr. Goodson not having a gun in the scene, right?
Yeah.
And the FBI then showed you a video that showed you that your 99% sureness was inaccurate, right?
Yes.
That you didn't travel up the State's Place, correct?
Correct.
Now, we talked about your Facebook with Mr. Schroyer, right?
Yes.
And it's true you did have a Facebook account in 2024, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you've had it for quite some time. hadn't you?
Yes.
I think that you said that you had posted something about this case a week or so after the shooting, right?
Yes.
So at least in December of 2020, you had a Facebook account, right?
Yes.
And you posted something about this shooting at that time, right?
Yep.
And you also had posted comments about this case on various social media outlets, right?
Yes.
About news accounts that you saw, right?
Yes.
And at some point before the first proceeding in this case in 2024, you deleted all of those postings of the news accounts, didn't you?
Yes.
You made the decision that you were going to delete all those postings, right?
Yes.
Didn't happen by accident, right?
Correct.
And I believe that you deleted this initial Facebook posting, one that happened way back in December of 2020. You deleted that shortly before the trial or the first proceeding began, right?
Right.
Matter of fact, isn't it true that you deleted your entire Facebook account before the first proceeding in 2024?
Correct.
You made that decision, right?
Yes.
And no one forced you to do it, right?
Correct.
And the reason that you deleted it was because you received a large number of friend requests. Isn't that true?
Yes.
That was your motivation for doing it, right? Right?
Yes.
Now, you know who Tamala Payne is, right? We talked about her on direct examination, right? And isn't it true that you had sent her several messages on Facebook, correct?
Incorrect.
Postings? Friend requests?
No.
No contact at all with Tamala Payne on Facebook?
I never reached out to her, no. I just viewed her profile.
All right. So you deny ever contacting her by Facebook?
Correct.
And when you deleted, so you never sent her direct messages?
No.
Any message that was in Facebook was deleted before the trial, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Noller, approach.
Of them meeting your Now, when you were interviewed by the FBI, you didn't tell them about your Facebook, right? Right?
Correct,
You didn't tell them about deleting your Facebook account, right?
correct,
And you didn't tell them about all the postings that you had about news accounts about this case, right?
Correct.
You didn't tell them about deleting those either, right?
correct.
You have a moment, John? The proceedings on TV proceeding. Isn't it true that you were watching the proceedings on TV before you gave your testimony?
I did see a little here and there of it, yes.
And you admitted that, right?
Yes.
All right. And I asked you a question about whether or not you had sent any instant messages or direct messages to Tamala Payne. True?
Yes,
And you denied sending any messages to her. Isn't that right?
yes,
And isn't it true that that issue came up in your deposition?
yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Okay. So, Mr. Swear.
Mr. Warren, I'd ask you to put your glasses on and read the first 3 lines. Tell me when you're finished.
It says, okay, how many instant messages have you sent to Mala Payne? And it says answer probably 2 or 3, maybe 4.
So that answer came from you, didn't it?
Yes,
So at the deposition, while you're under oath, you acknowledged that you sent Tamala Payne 2, 3, maybe 4 instant messages, right?
if that's what it says, I don't remember.
It was a court reporter, right? You're under oath, right?
Yes,
And at that, I specifically asked you, how many instant messages have you sent to Tamala Payne? Your answer is probably 2, 3, maybe 4, right?
that's what that says, yes.
One more turn. I think it's right. Thank you.
Mr. Korn, I want to get back to why you came forward. You indicated that you had watched and heard some of the proceedings in February of 2024, is that correct?
Yes,
And is it some of the things that you heard, something you heard in that, that you thought to yourself, and in fact, you said something to your cousin, yes, do. Wait. Objection. So, it's not your honor.
Overruled, he can answer it.
So you heard something, correct?
yes.
And what bothered you?
Objection. Father, hearing something.
To make you come forward?
What made you come forward?
Just, what made me come forward is the fact that I didn't see a gun and they was calling him a gun wielding, toting bandit. And that's not what I seen.
That bothered you?
Yes,
Okay. And that's when, did you just sit there and say all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to come forward with this, or did you give it serious thought?
it took a while
Why is that?
because I didn't want to be sitting here where I'm sitting now. This ain't the most comfortablest place.
So you were toying with the decision as to whether or not to come forward or not. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes,
And we talked about this Facebook and deleting the Facebook. That was after your name became public in this case, wasn't it?
yeah. Because at the time I deleted the Facebook because I had decided I wasn't going to come forward. I just stay out of it.
And your name did come public, didn't it?
Yes,
Okay. And did that cause you concern?
yes.
And why did it cause you concern in a case like this?
It's 'cause I didn't want to be involved.
Now, I want to mention back, there was something mentioned about you knowing something about a gun. I don't remember what the question was. Do you remember what that question was?
No.
Somebody having a gun or owning a gun or anything in this case?
No.
Something about being aware that they had a gun. Was there any mention, you didn't know at the time that all this was taking place that Casey had a gun? Is that correct?
No.
I think Mr. Nordry made reference to that.
Yes.
Now, you listened to news media and you were familiar with the accounts in this case.
Yes.
There's descriptive talk about these interviews you had, and let's try to get a little timeline down. This happened December 4th, 2020. All right.
Yes.
And these interviews took place in February 24, actually 3 years ago. All right.
Yes.
Oh, let's let him finish the question.
So during that 3-year period, were you talking about this case every day or weekly or whatever?
No, I mean, after the first week or so, it just kind of died down and forgot all about it.
It's not the first thing that you're dwelling on for 3 years.
No.
Then we're coming to today. Okay. So it's been another 2 years. Is that right?
Yes.
And did you just live your life like you have for the first 3 years, like you've left the past 2 years?
Sure.
Then you were, when you talk about all these little details, Mr. Norton was going over exactly what it is that you were paying attention to. When you said that the car, you saw Casey's car, you knew what road Casey turned from to turn on the state. Is that right?
Correct.
Is it just, you knew he was making a left-hand turn?
Well, I knew what direction he came from, and Carl Road dead ends, or Ferris dead ends into Carl. You got to go left or right. So
So you know he was traveling on Carl.
Yeah.
And it is true that Mr. Noter pointed out that when you talked to the FBI, you said, well, really, it's when you first noticed him was when he was at the front of who we now know was Mr. Meade's truck.
correct.
What he's wearing or not wearing. When he came by you, okay, you said that you thought that was he traveling fast?
Yeah, he was traveling fast and moving fast. His hands, and it was just enough to catch my attention, and just looking at him, like focused in on him, like I didn't know what was going on or what he was doing, or
Was there some concern that maybe you thought that since he's making these movements with his hands, what he was doing in the car, describe that as to whether you thought that in the speed he came around the corner, is that all things you factored in as to what's going on here?
Right. I just figured he's being reckless, just the way he was singing or dancing and moving and whatnot.
Now, you also mentioned you thought he had been singing. Did you think he was singing in the car?
Yes.
Was there any other actions or things going on that you can think of?
Well, just the motions of him made me believe he was moving the music.
And did you have a good look? Did you have a good look at it?
Yeah.
All right. You went far from it.
Correct.
And when you came around the corner, could you see in the front windshield?
Yeah.
And could you see in the side windshield?
Yes.
So you had two years. It was fast.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when we start getting into, were you focusing on his clothing?
No.
Were you focusing on his hair?
No.
Were you focusing on his hairstyle?
No.
Okay. So your focus was on what?
His arms and hands mainly.
And does your van sit a little higher than that car?
Yes.
Okay. And did that give you a good view into the vehicle?
Yeah, I could see down in it.
So what bothered you was that you heard that this, what you testified, and that bothered you because you didn't witness anything like that in the intersection, did you?
Correct.
And then that's when you thought, I maybe should do my civic duty and step forward. Is that right?
Yes.
That's what you did. Right.
Yes.
Now, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm 99% sure," that's, you're going from your memory. But not remembering the exact path you took to get back out onto Ferris to go to Carl Road. The fact is, you were on Ferris going to Carl Road, weren't you? When you
Councilman approach.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Corn. When you were leaving, and the fact is that you did end up on Ferris going to Carl
Correct.
on the video. Were you 3 years later? Is that something that you would think that you would remember as to what path you took to get to Ferris to go to Carl?
No.
The instant messaging, what is instant messaging?
It's like a messaging app that's attached to Facebook.
And I think you've already testified is that you were trying to find somebody so that you could get information as to who to contact with the information.
Correct. Correct. That's the only reason I was digging and trying to figure out who to tell what I saw. Because, you know,
And you never had any contact with any of the Goodson
no.
or their attorney,
Correct.
never spoke to them,
Correct.
even as of today.
As of today, I've not spoken to any of them. No.
The emergency lights, I think you did say something to the fact that you thought there were some lights that were taken, that you, the officer lights. Okay,
At the intersection?
yes.
Correct.
And Mr. Nolders made a big deal out of this as to whether the lights or not, but
That's his thing.
can you explain to us what your view is on that? When you were making determinations?
So, I mean, that's the only way I would have knew they was police officers. I seen the red and blue lights on the vehicle.
Did you see anything lights from the vehicle behind you?
I believe the lights that I saw was the vehicle behind me
Okay.
and never the one in front.
And there was some comment here about whether they said whether you saw Jason Meade. You didn't know Jason Meade.
No,
You had no idea who he was.
no,
So you had no idea who it was. Did you have any idea who it was that you saw, the officer that you saw?
it's just an officer.
You're not saying that that was the defendant here.
No, I still to this, I couldn't tell you if it was him or not.
Mr. Corn, your description of the individual that was in the small car passing you, that you given this jury, is that happening?
Yes,
And is that true?
Basis?
yes.
Final approach?
Mr. Corn, what you testified to here today is the truth. Objection.
Oh,
Yes,
And you saw what you saw.
yes,
Your comment.
yes.
any questions as a result of those?
When this dark hatchback turns onto Ferris, Dave, you said that your focus was on the driver's arms and hands, right?
Yeah.
They were moving in the car, right? And you didn't see a gun in the car. Is that right? That's what you're saying?
I didn't see a gun in his hands.
And the right hand was in the air, I believe you testified, right?
Yes,
And you also acknowledged that Mr. Meade might have seen something that you didn't see. Isn't that true?
possible.
And isn't it true that your vehicle is still moving in the video when Mr. Meade and Mr. Goodson's car would be right next to one another? Isn't that true?
Correct.
And you also testified Mr. Meade's U-turn was in response to Mr. Goodson's car. Isn't that right?
I don't remember that.
Happened 5 seconds after, didn't it?
Pretty close.
And so from that, it's pretty easy to conclude that Mr. Meade's U-turn was in response to Mr. Goodson's car, right?
No, 'cause I didn't put two and two together until I seen it on the news that night.
But now you know,
Yeah.
right?
Of course.
So one other question about the pursuit lights. So your testimony right now is that the truck behind you was the one that engaged the pursuit lights. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
And so if Ryan Rosser comes in and testifies that he didn't engage his pursuit lights, is he lying?
I don't know which one. There was one of the trucks turned the red and blue lights on. That's how I know they was a police officer. That's why I followed them back down the road.
And we can agree that the video does not depict either of the vehicles turning the lights on, right?
Yeah.
No further questions, John.
All right, you can step down, Mr. Corn. Leave everything there. Leave everything there. Councilman approach off the record. When to discuss it with you or in your presence, it is your duty not to form or express an opinion on the case until it is finally submitted to you. You can get back up here. What about 1:15? 1:15. We'll try and get started at 1:30.
All right.
We'll try. Lunch break. Do not discuss this case among yourselves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our lunch break. Do not discuss this case among yourselves. We do not permit anyone to discuss it with you or in your presence. It is your duty not to form or express an opinion on the case until it's finally.
I'm trying to see what the clock says. Is there a clock there at all? Because I want to know what time they go for lunch. And I can't see one. Hang on. I'll mute that for a second. Ah, yeah, buggers. There doesn't seem to be any sort of clock. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Anyway, they are back live. So what I'll do now is I'll take this one down for a second. I'm going to go for lunch in a second once I get you the actual video. Let me go here. Let me go there. Let me go everywhere. Right, that's boosted. Shit, that's the wrong one. Okay, no, that's fine. Let me just go here, people. Bear with me. Then what I'll do. Oh, it's actually 1:30 there now. Right, what I'll do. Hang on. Everybody. Yeah. Rock your body. Yeah. So that was 11 there. So they went for lunch at around 12:05. So they had about an hour and a quarter for lunch. Okay, that we could deal with that. Right. Get that out the way. Now let me get this one. We are going to the afternoon session. Let me just boost this for you mofos because you'd be whinging otherwise. Voice boost. Then I put here. In terms of being live, we're about hour and a quarter behind. So not too bad, is it? Not too shabby. Or player 1.25, it's on 1.25. Here we go.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under
Here you go.
further your testimony?
Right, I'm gonna go. I'll be around. I'm gonna be on the sofa. I'll be listening to it all. So I'm sure the mods will keep you entertained, keep each other entertained anyway. So, right, I'll be back once I've done my finished. I'm gonna take myself.
This case will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I swear. Have a seat. Pull yourself up close to the microphone.
Yes, sir.
And you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please state your name and occupation for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Ryan Rosser. I'm a police detective with Columbus Police.
Detective Rosser, how long have you worked for the Columbus Police?
19 years.
And prior to December of 2020, what assignments had you held?
I was in patrol for 10 years, which consisted of temporary assignments with the gang unit, HIDA, and then I went to the Marshals Task Force with 10 years on.
So you were a patrol officer for 10 years?
Correct.
That's working in uniform?
Yes, sir.
Marked cruiser?
Correct.
Okay. And you say you then went, after some temporary assignments, you were assigned to the Marshal Service?
Yes.
Can you explain? That was a task force?
Correct. It was a federal task force, or is a federal task force. Our responsibility is to go after wanted fugitives, mainly felons, the violent felons of like throughout the United States.
Okay. And here in the Southern District of Ohio, the acronym for it was SOFAST.
Correct.
Can you tell us what that stood for?
Southern Ohio Fugitive Apprehension Strike Team.
Okay. And how long were you on SOFAST?
7 years.
Okay. Beginning when?
June of 2017.
Okay. Let's talk about how SOFAST operated.
Okay.
It's made up of, obviously it's U.S. Marshal Service, so U.S. Marshals, right?
Correct.
Deputy Marshals. In addition, there are what are called task force officers.
Yes, sir.
That's what your role was.
That's correct.
And tell what other agencies, if you recall, you may not recall all of them, but what other agencies contributed manpower to the task force?
Adult Parole Authority, Franklin County, Bexley, I think Lancaster, Zanesville, and then I think that might have been, I can't think of locally who else on top of my head. Capital,
County?
Delaware, Capital University, and then surrounding agencies.
Right. In your role on SOFAST, was that a full-time position for you?
It was.
Okay. And other task force officers, were they all full-time SOFAST or?
No, there was a mixture of full-time and part-time.
Okay. And full-time was general working hours were what?
Mine were 6 to 2, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, obviously subject to being called out
Correct.
when the need arose. Tell us about the procedure for SOFAST to receive and receive a request for an apprehension.
They would have to be, one, the marshals would have to prove that we could work that warrant, and then two, they'd be given a FID number, would be entered into the marshal system.
Okay, so the request is initially screened by the Marshal Service.
Usually the team leader.
Okay, to determine whether this is the kind of one that we're going to work or not work.
Correct.
And you talked about a FID number. What was a FID number?
I don't know what it stands for, but it's essentially just a number that's in the U.S. Marshal system that identifies that subject, that we can work that individual.
And that was kind of a hard and fast rule, wasn't it? That
Correct.
Until there was a FID number assigned, the SOFAST team did not work it. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, you were from Columbus, from Columbus Police. What was your role as the Columbus Police representative on SOFAST?
One, I was considered a liaison between Columbus and the U.S. Marshals, and then two, Columbus Police warrants took precedent for myself to work those warrants
Okay.
to find those fugitives.
So, when you say a liaison, so if the Columbus police say, hey, we want to apprehend this particular individual, and we want to get the marshal's help, they notify you,
Correct.
and then you begin the process to determine whether the request will be accepted. Were you also instrumental in getting the FID number?
Yes, either myself or another marshal, like a marshal could enter it, or somebody else on the team, or an analyst, somebody could enter that person in for a FID.
And that would be done at, SOFAST had a location that they worked out of,
Correct.
which obviously had computers that were tied to the marshal service, et cetera.
Correct.
On a typical day, how many officers would generally be working on a SOFAST team? Or did that vary widely?
It varied.
Okay.
Varied.
Give us a low number and a high number in terms of actively working a particular warrant.
It could be 6 to 12 to 14.
Okay, but generally like a minimum of 6 or 5
Typically.
or 6.
Typically.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how were the task force officers on SOFAST equipped? What equipment was provided to you all?
By the marshals.
Let's start with the marshals. Yeah.
Full time would be a vehicle, computer. I think that might be it, top of my head.
So if you were a full-time officer, as you were, the marshal service provided you with a vehicle?
Correct.
And can you describe the vehicle that you were assigned to at least back in,
Yeah.
that was assigned to you at least back in 2020?
I believe it might have been a 2018 Dodge Ram truck.
Okay. Was it a marked vehicle?
It's unmarked.
Was it equipped with any extra equipment that designated a police vehicle?
We had lights and sirens, and then we had a PA system that intermittently might work and might not work.
Okay. When you say lights, you're talking about like
Not on top, red and blue lights, but not on top of the vehicle. They were in the windows, so they were for unmarked.
And they were there for the purpose of, if you wanted to notify people around you that this was a police vehicle, you could use the lights.
Correct.
You were pursuing somebody in traffic or whatever, that was something that was available to you.
We not allowed to pursue, but we could use those to get through traffic as if
Okay.
in a cruiser.
How about the siren? What was the purpose?
Same thing, just an alert.
Okay. Now, in terms of weapons, body armor, radio, et cetera, did the Marshal Service provide you with those?
No, I use my what I have from Columbus.
Okay, so CPD had issued you your weapon.
Correct.
Did you have body armor as well?
I did.
I'm sorry.
I did.
Okay. And that was CPD issued?
It was a hand-me-down from the individual that was a task force officer prior to me. So yes,
So you inherited it?
I inherited it. Correct.
Did it have any kind of identifying information on the body armor that identified you as a police officer?
I had U.S. Marshal Task Force or Fugitive Task Force patches
Okay.
on the front and back.
Okay. I'm assuming those are issued by the Marshal Service?
Yes, those were issued by the Marshal Service.
What are they, like a Velcro or something?
Yeah, it was Velcro that attached to like the chest area and then on the upper back.
And then in terms of weapons, you had your CPD issued.
Yeah, correct. My CPD duty gun, my issue duty gun.
Now, let's go to December 4th, 2020. Were you working that day?
Yes,
Were you working the task force that day?
correct.
In the course of that day, well, strike that. The radio that you had was a CPD radio.
It was.
So I'm assuming it had a number of channels on it. Okay, among which were the channels for Columbus Police.
Correct.
Did it also have any other channels that you had access to?
U.S. Marshals.
Okay, so they had their own channel on the radio,
Correct.
and typically that's the way, at least when you're working the task force, I assume that's the way you'd have it set.
Yes.
Okay, and that enabled you to communicate with other team members.
Yes.
Um, the now going back to December 4th, 2020, you indicated you worked that day. Normal work hours for you?
Correct.
I believe this was a Friday, if you recall.
Yeah, it would have been 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. Did you, on that day, you and the SOFAST team, did you guys go out to the area of Ferris and Estates?
Yes.
And what was the reason for going there?
To serve a felony warrant on an individual,
You recall the individual's name?
Kendale Barber.
Okay. And you remember where the location where you were sent?
As in Mr. Barber's address?
Yeah.
I don't know his address top of my head.
You know which street it was and the approximate location?
Yes, I believe it was on Estates Place.
Okay. Let me,
Thank you.
I'm going to put up here, looks like Mark Estates Exhibit number 19. I'll place it on the easel here. Hopefully everybody can see that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you recognize what that area is that depicts?
The same area we just spoke about.
Okay. And I don't know whether you recall the precise house that was Mr. Barber's, but
I don't.
this being Estates, you remember the general location of this house?
Closer to Ferris on the west side of the street, which will be the left.
On this side of the street, and at this end of Estates is a very short street, right?
Correct.
So up towards this end of the street.
Correct.
Tell us about the efforts at locating Mr. Barber. Were you successful?
We were not. He was not there.
Okay. Did your team actually go to the home?
We did.
And that would have been his mother's home?
I believe so.
Okay. Prior to going to Mr. Barber's home, had the team met and discussed this warrant?
I believe we probably briefed this someplace, but I don't remember where.
I don't recall
I don't remember where, but yes.
Recall 5 years later,
Right.
where you met, but that would be standard,
Correct.
so that everybody knows, here's who we're looking for. Here's how we're going to approach this.
Typically.
Okay. And that the team is led by. Were you the leader of the team?
No.
Who was the leader of the team?
At the time, it was Dave Youngless,
Okay. And he is employed by
U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals.
That's correct.
So at any rate, you all approached that house.
Correct.
He was not there.
Correct.
What happened then?
I think we interviewed his mom, and we left the house.
Okay. Did you personally talk to his mom, if you recall?
I did.
And you were familiar with Kendall Barber, is that correct?
Correct.
So when you left, what were the marching orders at that point?
Done for the day and go where you needed to go. So I was going back to the task force.
Okay. Were you the first to leave?
No.
Okay. Were you the last?
believe so.
Were there any other agencies out there other than the task force on that day?
Franklin County,
Franklin County,
Sheriff's Office.
who from there?
Like, I believe their SWAT team and then their Special Investigations Unit.
Okay, so there were officers from both
Correct.
there, and they were part of the effort to locate Mr. Barber.
That's correct.
Did they leave also, as far as you knew?
The Special Investigation guys, I never saw them, so I have no idea. But their SWAT guys, yes.
When you say you never saw them, what?
They're covert. I don't know. They didn't come to the house with us.
So that, what their role was, what, surveillance primarily?
Correct.
So you never interacted with the SIU guys, and you don't know whether they were still there or not?
I do not.
Okay. Who else were among the last to leave that you were aware of?
Myself, and then I had Task Force Officer Yorkowitz, who was riding with me, and then Deputy Meade.
Okay. And Deputy Meade was also on the task force, is that right?
That's correct.
And he was working with you that day?
Correct.
Prior to leaving, I assume did you suit up to approach the house when you were looking for Barber?
You mean at the very beginning?
Yes.
Yes, we were already geared up.
Okay. This wasn't the only warrant that you guys worked that day?
No.
This is just the last one?
Correct.
So did you remain suited up with your body armor and weapon?
No.
Okay. What did you do?
I de-geared, took my gun belt off and my vest off, placed them in the backseat of my truck.
Okay. Is that the normal place that you kept them when
That was typical.
you weren't wearing them?
Correct.
Did your truck have a secure storage facility for firearms?
I had a vault in the back of my truck.
Okay. So that was back in the bed of the truck?
Correct.
Did you place your weapon in there?
No.
So you take off your body armor. How about your?
I believe he took his off too.
Okay. And you all then left the location?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me the route you took.
So it went northbound on Estates, and then would have turned left on the Ferris, which would be westbound, and then came up to Carl Road.
Okay. Now, were you following anyone?
I was behind Deputy Meade.
Okay. So he pulled out of Estates first?
Correct.
And then you would have pulled out after him?
Correct.
Okay. Now, where's your radio?
In my vest.
Okay.
In the back seat.
In the back seat. Was it on?
No.
Okay, so you had turned it off.
Correct.
Did the truck have a radio?
It did not.
So when we talk about radio, maybe showing my age, but is this kind of like look like a walkie-talkie, like a square box? Or?
Yeah, like a rectangle box. Like, I mean, it's handheld, but it just goes into like a pouch on my vest.
Put it in there, and then did you have like a microphone or?
Not a microphone, but like usually an earpiece with a mic on my vest.
Okay. So that's when you're geared up. You've got all that. You've got the earpiece. You've got a mic on your vest that you talk into.
Correct.
The radio that you had, and understandably when you're doing so fast work set on the Marshal's channel, did it have the ability to quickly switch to the Columbus Police channel?
Not quickly. I would have to press buttons and like to go to different channels. I have to press buttons on the screen.
Okay. Is there what's called or referred to as a banner switch?
There is.
Tell us about that.
It's just emergency banner. It's like, I think it's an orange button on the very top. So if I can't get the air to radio, because if somebody else is using the radio or they're airing something else, or if I can't get to the channel I need to get to air something, I can hit the banner, and it automatically gives me Columbus Air, where other cars can't mark over me, and I get the air to radio.
You get priority.
I get priority.
And that's an emergency switch for when the situation calls for it.
Correct.
Okay. Tell us, so you're heading westbound on Ferris. coming up to Carl.
Correct.
Did anything unusual happen?
We were stopped at the light and I saw Deputy Meade do a U-turn at Ferris and Carl Road.
Was there a vehicle in between you and Deputy Meade?
I believe so. I believe so.
Did that strike you as unusual? Did the U-turn?
A little bit. I just assumed he might have left something at the house.
Okay, that was your assumption at the time.
Correct.
What happened next?
Deputy Meade pulled up next to me
Okay.
and then rolled down my window.
Okay.
Let me keep going.
Yeah. What happened?
So Deputy Meade was panicked and saying, "We got to go. He's got a gun. He's got a gun."
Okay. Did he give you any other information?
No.
Okay. What are you thinking at that point?
At that point, I'm thinking that SIU, the County Special Investigation Unit, is still watching surveillance on Mr. Barber's house, and that either somebody walked out of the house with a gun or Mr. Barber had shown up with a gun.
Now, had Deputy Meade, he's in a marshal vehicle also, is that correct?
That's correct.
And similarly equipped to yours?
Yes.
Had he turned on his lights?
I don't remember.
Okay. That certainly, if he had, that would be a signal to you that, hey, there's something going on.
Well, I don't know if he turned them on for when he made a U-turn. I don't know, is what I'm saying.
That he may have turned them on while he made the U-turn?
Correct.
Okay, and then turned them off?
Yeah, I don't know.
When he came by you, they weren't on?
I don't believe so.
So what did you do at that point?
Did a U-turn from where I was at to follow him.
You recall whether you turned your lights on?
I have no idea.
You may have turned them on to make the U-turn. You may have
Maybe.
left them on.
Maybe.
Okay.
Don't know.
But the information he gave you was he's got a gun, we got to go.
Correct.
And so what's going through your mind is you're thinking, oh, well, maybe Kendall Barber's come back, that's where your mindset is.
That's correct.
Okay. So tell us what happens then.
We turn right, so it'd be southbound back onto Estates Place, past Mr. Barber's house, and then we stop about, I think, Sale Road area.
Okay. So as you're passing Barber's house, you're thinking, not Barber, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
And you say you stopped
around there.
right around in here?
Correct.
Sale Road?
Correct.
Okay, what happens then?
I see Deputy Meade get out of his truck and he went to his vault, which is in the bed of the truck, and then started to remove his vest, his bulletproof
Take it
vest,
off or
put it on.
Put it on?
Put it on.
Okay.
He was
So
removing
you
it from the vault to put it on. Correct.
Removed it from the vault?
Correct.
Okay.
So then I jumped out of my truck and
Are you parked next to him?
I'm behind-
beside him, or
behind him.
Behind him?
Correct. To grab my vest and my gun belt, start putting that stuff on.
Okay. Just based on what he's doing. you're
Correct.
thinking, I better gear up.
Correct.
Does he say anything?
He points and says down there.
What do you see?
I see an individual standing in the road.
Whereabouts?
Down towards like the highlighted area you have.
Right in here?
Correct.
An individual standing in the road.
Correct.
What can you tell us about that?
I just knew it was a male, and that's all I could tell,
How did you know it was a man?
just by his stature.
Okay. Body structure?
Correct.
So forth. Remember how the individual was dressed?
I do not.
Did you see the individual, anything in his hand, or could you see his,
I didn't see anything. I couldn't tell.
could you tell the race of the individual?
No.
Assuming you couldn't see his face.
Correct.
At that point, when you first saw this individual down there, did you see him doing anything that you viewed as threatening?
No.
happened next?
So I put my vest on and it was an old vest, so it took a while to cinch the sides so it was secure. So I was trying to deal with that. And Deputy Meade got back into his truck and the male had started walking up towards the house.
Okay. When Mr. Meade got back in his truck, what did he do? Mr. Meade,
He started to drive down the street.
okay. Slowly?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to his speed.
Okay. And you say the individual that you saw down in the street started to walk where?
He started to walk up. I don't know if it was a sidewalk or the grass, but started to walk up towards the highlighted house. And then his pace started to pick up to a hurried pace, kind of like towards the.
Let me stop you. When
Correct.
you say a hurried pace, you mean you began walking faster?
Correct.
Okay. And are you still standing outside of your truck at that point?
As Deputy Meade took off, yes. And then I jumped.
You're watching this individual start walking?
Correct.
Okay, and you're still working on getting the vest fastened, is that right?
It was an effort, correct.
And let me step back for a moment, talk a little bit about your body armor. You say it was an old vest that you inherited. You also had a gun belt, is that right?
That's correct.
Is that separate from the vest?
It is.
Okay. And when you were gearing up, putting the vest on, do you have to put the gun belt on first, second? How does that work?
There's no rhyme or reason, just whatever's easier to do at the time.
Okay, so you could do it either way.
You can.
Okay. And in this instance, had you already put your gun belt on, or?
No.
Okay. So in this instance, you were putting the vest on first.
Correct.
I assume your handgun is in the holster on the gun belt, is that right?
I think I might have had a drop holster, but it would have been, which attaches around my thigh, but it was still in the holster.
Okay. So you see the pace pick up. Mr. Meade's driving towards that location, is that right?
Right.
What did you do?
Jumped in my driver's seat and took off after Deputy Meade.
Okay. Had you secured your vest by that point?
No.
Did you put your gun belt on?
No.
Where was your gun?
I don't know if it was in the holster. I don't know I think I took it with me to the driver's seat,
Yeah.
grabbed the whole belt.
Yeah, that's I guess bad question. Your gun belt had been in the back seat, is that right?
Correct.
But by the time you get back into your truck, you've got the gun belt with you in the front driver's
I
seat.
believe I'm holding it on my lap.
Were you aware of what Officer Yorkowitz was doing while this was transpiring?
I wasn't focused on him.
Okay. So do you even know whether he got out of the truck?
I believe he got out when I got out, but I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he had his gear on or what.
By the time you got back in your truck, had he?
He was back in the front passenger seat.
As well. Okay. Tell us what happened next.
The male, as he's coming to the corner, as he's picked up his pace to walk, it turns into what I recognize from being a patrol. It turns into like a sprint to start the run. And Deputy Meade pulls up and exits his truck.
Okay. Do you actually see the individual run, or is it like, I mean, is he in your sight this whole time, or does he go out of your sight?
Not until so it's difficult to explain. So being in patrol and being in numerous foot chases and just activity, like pedestrian activity, or compared to the innocent public, it was just a normal walk to a hurry pace too. When he gets to the end, he turns into a run to run out of view. It was something that I've been used to, something that I've seen numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
So through my training, I knew it was a run.
Okay. And then he disappears from sight.
Right.
So we're seeing maybe 1 or 1.5 steps of the run, and
Correct.
then he's gone.
Correct.
At least from your view.
Correct.
And at that point, when that happened, where's Deputy Meade?
I believe he's pulling up, stopping.
Okay. And you're already back in your truck. Is that right?
Correct.
Did you begin to get back in your truck at the point that Deputy Meade started heading?
As soon as Deputy Meade got back in his truck, I saw he was going to go, so I got back in my truck to go.
Okay, so that's the point where you said, okay,
Yeah.
I don't have it yet, but you know, I'm going to go. Correct. And at least in terms of what's going on, why this person is of interest, and so forth, you still don't know.
Correct.
Safe to say you're kind of confused about what's going on at this point,
I just knew somebody had a gun. So yes,
only from what Deputy Meade had said, right?
correct.
Okay. Tell us what happens next.
As I pull up and I'm exiting my truck, I hear, show me your hands, and then I hear gunshots.
Give us some idea of, you know, the time gap between show me your hands, and the gunshots.
I couldn't give you a time gap.
I mean, we're not talking about a minute,
No,
split second.
probably within seconds.
How many gunshots did you hear?
I don't know.
More than one?
I couldn't tell you. I just heard gunshots.
Okay. Well, when you say shots,
It'd be more than one, but I don't.
you don't have a count as
don't.
whether it was, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, whatever.
I don't.
At the point that you hear the gun, you know, the show me your hands and the gunshots, where are you in this? Are you guys there or?
Yeah, we're out front, like getting out of the truck.
Okay, so you had pulled up behind Mr. Meade's truck.
Correct.
So, you know, and you know, was your door open when, were you out of the truck when you heard?
The door was opening and it was going into park and the door was opening.
Yeah, so this kind of an abrupt foot on the brake.
Correct.
Into park.
It's all in one
Open
motion.
the door, all kind of simultaneously,
Correct.
right? And as you open the door, that's when you hear,
Correct.
show me your hands, da, 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 da. What did you do at that point?
Took off running to what last place I saw Jason run to.
Okay. Was he in sight when you heard the gunshots? In your sight?
No, I didn't see him.
Okay. So as you're pulling up, well, when he arrives there, tell us what you saw him doing.
He was moving towards the last place I saw the individual run to
And how was he armed?
with his rifle.
He had a rifle?
Correct.
And how was he moving towards, you know, the rifle, what has a sling that you can hangs around his neck so that when he's not pointing it at somebody, it's just resting there?
No, I would say low ready. I don't know. I don't know the terms for a rifle. I'm not a rifle operator, so I don't know how.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a rifle operator, so I don't know the terms. I would say maybe a low ready, like,
Okay.
so it's,
If you can stand up and demonstrate for us.
yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, I would assume like
Okay.
low ready, like
So
ready to,
So he's got the gun.
like, right, like, so you can pull it up. Like, so
Okay.
we don't point our guns at just any targets. So yeah.
And you know, this is as he gets out of his truck. That's kind of.
I mean, I don't know if it was like as he steps out of his truck. It's like I know as he's moving.
Okay, and he's moving in the direction that the individual was.
Correct.
Had been moving.
Correct.
And did you lose sight of him as you were pulling up?
Yes.
The last that you saw of him, is he still in that low ready
Correct.
kind of posture? You know, and is he moving slowly? Is he moving quick?
I don't know if it's like super. I don't know. It's not like super slow, but it's a steady walk.
Is it a hurried walk?
It's not a hurried walk, but it's a walk.
Okay. Okay, so you're out of your truck. I assume you have your gun.
I have my gun belt in my hand.
Okay, and the gun is in the holster at that point.
Correct.
Where do you go?
I run up like towards the front of the house, the side of the house, like up the sidewalk, and pull my gun out of the holster and throw my gun belt on the ground.
Show you what has been marked as 11C. States, Case Road. Yes, start with approximately where were you parked when you roughly?
Was it here? I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was it there?
Uh,
I can't remember. Honestly, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're behind, you didn't go around.
No, I was back.
So-
I didn't know if that was that was whose truck that was.
Well, this would have been Mr. Meade.
Okay, then I've been back here behind him.
Yeah, and I understand.
I
you don't
apologize.
know Precisely.
Don't speak over each other. Ask a question, he will answer.
I'm sorry. I understand you can't be precise, but it was in this general vicinity.
Yes, sir.
Right?
That's correct.
And then when you got out of your truck, kind of show us the path you took.
I believe it was this sidewalk. I ran through my gun belt there.
Without your gun, right?
Well, my gun was in my hand, but I threw my gun belt down
You
there.
just drop your gun belt.
Correct.
I don't need it at this point.
Correct.
Okay. And so when you get up there, what's the next thing you see?
Deputy Meade.
And where is he located?
Around like the fence, the gate, I
Gate
guess.
area?
Correct.
And you make yourself known to him?
I don't know if I say anything to him. I just run up next to him.
Okay. And tell us what transpired then.
We proceed like side by side up to the side door of the house.
Okay. And what happens then?
We get up to the side door that's open. And that's where I see Mr. Goodson lying on the ground inside the door.
See him inside the house?
Inside the doorway, yes.
Okay. Do you enter the house?
I don't know if I step into like that little frame area, but or I take it like I don't know how we're standing in there, but that's when Jason had told me he's got when we were walking up, he's got a gun, so be careful. So we gotten up there, and then he's laying on the ground. The door is at like a 90-degree angle, so can't see to the left. And then Jason tells me the house isn't clear, so he rolls rolls Mr. Goodson over.
Okay, let me stop here. Let's step back for a second. When you see Mr. Goodson, you say, Mr. Meade rolled him over. Is he face down or face up at the time you first see him?
Face down.
Face down. Do you see his hands?
No.
You know where his hands are?
No,
Could have been out, could have been under.
I don't know.
You don't recall.
I don't recall it.
And you say that Mr. Meade rolls him from his face to his back.
Correct.
When that happens, what do you see?
A handgun.
You see a handgun?
Correct.
And had it been under Mr. Goodson?
Correct.
What part of his body was it under?
Like his upper chest, torso area.
Now, at that point, are you inside the house or outside the house?
Probably like right in the
entryway?
threshold. Correct.
There's a step up to get into the house. Have you made the step up at that point?
Possibly.
And you said that there was a door blocking to the left.
Correct.
What did you do?
Kick the door.
Okay. Tell me what you saw.
I saw a gentleman, a small child, and a Rottweiler.
Okay. What did you do in relation to them?
Gave them verbal orders.
Okay. To do what?
what I said specifically, I don't know, but this basically stay where they're at.
The point was you didn't want to come in any further.
Correct.
So that's what your directive was.
Correct.
What happened next?
I see Yorkowitz and tell him to take my position, like take the cover that side of the house, take the cover of that room.
Okay. Where was Mr. Meade?
To my behind me, like to my right, because I was focused on to my left, so he would have been to my right back.
Okay. Well, at the point that you see Officer Yorkowitz, where's Mr. Meade?
Well, when I see Yorkowitz, my focus is to my left, so
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not paying attention to where Deputy Meade's at.
I understand. So
He would have been behind me.
do you know where he went? Did you see him again?
Yeah, as soon as Yorkowitz took that position, took my position, I turned back, and Meade was right there.
And what was he doing?
I wasn't focused on what he was doing.
Okay. What did you do?
Stepped over or stepped around that I don't remember which way. Mr. Goodson to hold the kitchen area.
Now, you use the term hold the kitchen area.
Correct.
What do you mean by that?
Because that house wasn't secure, and two, I still didn't know what was technically going on. I didn't know if there were other suspects like in the house or what just transpired. So I'm holding in case other like potential threats come out of the rest of the house towards us.
Where's Mr. Meade at that point? Do you know?
Behind me.
Okay. Do you know what he's doing?
I don't.
Are you talking to each other?
I don't believe so.
Um, so you're up kind of at the top of the kitchen, I guess.
Correct.
Lack of a better term, front of the kitchen. And you're, as you say, holding it. What happens then?
I apologize. I forgot to add, when we first got up to the door, I had hit my banner on my radio. So I apologize. So which gave me the air. Like I turned my radio on and hit the banner and let them like air to, Stardust medics and Stardust officers.
So basically you hit your banner as you guys are entering the house?
As we get up to the door.
Okay, even before you entered the house?
As soon as I see Mr. Goodson, I hit the door.
Okay.
Or hit the banner, I'm sorry.
And what do you, and you then broadcast what?
What I don't know what I said exactly, but probably, shots fired, Stardust medic and Stars cars.
So in other words, you're signaling, get people here as quickly as possible.
Correct.
Okay, so now you've now stepped around and are up kind of the front of the kitchen. What happens there?
A pit bull comes out and runs towards me and stops, and then two younger females, like probably maybe their late teens, would come out and yell, or like record with their phones and screaming at us. And then so I was ordering them back and to stop, get the dog.
Okay, so you're directing them, get this dog out of here.
That and for them to stay back.
And don't come any further.
Correct.
What's the next thing that happens?
I believe Deputy Barnhart, who's also on the task force, shows up, and I see him walk in, and I tell him to start CPR.
Okay. Where's Mr. Meade at that point?
I don't know. That's not my focus.
Was he already doing CPR?
I have no idea.
Well, when you directed Officer Barnhart.
Barnhart, I believe, walked up to me and asked me what we needed.
Okay. He came from behind you?
Right.
Okay. And that's when you said start CPR?
Right.
So at least at that point, you weren't aware of anybody having started CPR?
I don't know what was going on behind me.
Okay. Well, the fact that you were directing someone to start it would suggest that you didn't.
That means I have no idea, and I just want to make sure that the preservation of life is being attempted.
Okay. And in essence, you had lost track of where Mr. Meade was.
Correct. My focus was on what in front of me.
So how long do you remain there at the front of the kitchen, holding the air?
I couldn't tell you. It feels like an eternity. And I'm not being funny. That's what it feels like. So I could tell you it was an hour. I don't know. Until I know that the rest of the Marshals team showed up and they started to clear the house, and Columbus patrol officers started to show up. So until I was able to get relieved from my position, I was stuck there.
I can show you what's been marked as 25D, which is a graphic showing the layout of the house.
Mhm.
This being the living room here, this being the side porch here, side door, the kitchen, this hallway, a bathroom, and bedrooms back here. Can you mark on that roughly where Mr. Goodson was located on the floor of the kitchen?
Sure.
Okay. Now, this is that inside door that I think you said you kicked, right?
That right there?
Yes.
Yes.
So after you opened it further, it was right in there, right?
Correct.
And where was the gentleman with the young child in the living room?
GOP Market.
Yeah, please.
Would have been in this area.
Okay. And then when you were holding the kitchen, give us roughly your location for doing that.
So probably have been here.
Okay. So, and that's where you remained until
somebody took my place, or I was told that the house was cleared and I could exit.
Okay.
One of the two. I don't know how that happened.
Were you still in there when the medics arrived?
Yes,
So the medics came in the side door, is that right?
that's correct.
So at the point that you would have left the house, either Mr. Goodson was being attended to or he had been actually removed by the medics, is that right?
Correct.
Do you remember which?
I don't.
Okay. I published this, Your Honor. Thank you. Okay, and just so we're clear, this X marks approximately where Mr. Goodson was laying when you first entered the house.
Correct.
Correct? And I'm, other than Mr. Meade rolling Mr. Goodson from his front to his back, while you were there, were you aware of Mr. Goodson being moved at all?
No.
And this would be the location where you were holding the kitchen.
Correct.
Which gave you a sight line up through this hallway, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And this is where the pit bull and the young females
They came from that area.
in that area. I mean, they didn't come into the kitchen, is that right?
They probably passed that bathroom.
Okay.
But they stopped before they
Right in the vicinity where my pen is.
probably maybe a little bit closer. But yes.
Okay, right around in there. Okay.
May I proceed?
You may.
Good afternoon, Detective Rosser.
Good afternoon.
We've met before.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Caitlin Stevens, and I, along with my co-counsel, Mr. Collins and Mr. Nolder, represent Mr. Meade in this action. I tend to go fast. If at any point I go too fast or you don't understand my question, please just let me know and I'll rephrase or slow down for you, okay?
Sounds good.
So you said you've been with the Columbus Police Department for 19 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Fair to say you said 10 years on patrol?
Yes.
So 9 years in the Detective Bureau?
At this point, yeah.
Fair to say your job as a law enforcement officer is to investigate crimes, yes?
Correct.
It's your sworn duty to uphold the laws here in the city of Columbus, correct?
Correct.
Hypothetically, Detective Rosser, you're riding in a car and you see someone waving a gun around, pointing it at people driving by a school. At that point, sir, it's your duty to investigate that vehicle, correct?
Overruled.
I'll give you that hypothetical again, sir. You're riding in a car. You see someone waving a gun around and pointing it at people driving by a school. At that point, it's your duty to investigate that person, correct?
Correct.
Because you're a police officer, right?
Correct.
You see laws being broken, right?
Correct.
It's your job at that point to make contact with them, true?
True.
So that's what you would try to do in that situation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what training tells you to do in that situation, correct?
Correct.
You see someone pointing a gun while driving, that person is committing improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle, correct?
Correct.
That's a felony here in this state, true?
True.
That person, if he's pointing it at people, could be committing aggravated menacing, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's your job to investigate that person.
Correct.
You would agree with me when I say that it's dangerous to point a gun or wave a gun in a motor vehicle, correct?
Correct.
So your training tells you that you must investigate, correct?
Correct.
Now, once you choose to investigate, Detective Rosser, you didn't create the situation that led you to that person being investigated, right?
Correct.
In fact, that person is the one who created the situation by breaking the law to begin with, true?
True.
That person was the one who created that situation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, same hypothetical, sir. If you were working with a team on that day, your job would be to communicate with your team, right?
Correct.
You would want to communicate to your team what you saw, right?
Correct.
You would hop on the radio and say something to the effect of, hey, we got a guy with a gun here, right?
Correct.
You would want to radio your location, correct?
Correct.
Because it's important for your team members to know what is going on, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's important for you to communicate to the team what is going on, right?
Correct.
And your location, correct?
Correct.
And so once you communicated and you heard responses over the radio, at that point, detective, you would know your team was en route, true?
True.
Now, same hypothetical, sir. That person, at least right now, is contained in a motor vehicle, correct?
Correct.
Once that person leaves the car, the dynamics change, right?
True.
You as a law enforcement officer, you're not responsible for changing those dynamics, correct?
Correct.
The person in the car who left the car is responsible for changing those dynamics, true?
True.
So at that point, that person in the car, same hypothetical, gets out of the car. You know, as a law enforcement officer, a foot chase is about to ensue, correct?
Correct.
You would agree with me that a foot chase is more dynamic than a person being contained in a car, correct?
Correct.
It's more uncertain, you would say?
Yes.
Because you don't know where that person is going, right?
Correct.
You know that person has a gun because you saw it, right?
Correct.
But you don't know where that person is heading with the gun, correct?
Correct.
Now, if the person turns, looks at you, and takes off, your training says that that person is fleeing, right?
That's correct.
You would consider that person as fleeing, right?
I would.
2 additional crimes, fleeing and eluding.
Correct.
You'd probably tell that person to stop.
Correct.
You'd identify yourself as a law enforcement officer.
Yes.
And now they're failing to comply with a lawful order, right?
Correct.
Now, again, you have a duty to stop that person from doing whatever it is that they're going to do, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you're trained to do, right, detective?
Yes.
Now, you're not trained to speculate as to why this person may be fleeing, right?
No.
You're not trained to think about, hey, why does this person have a gun? Are you?
No.
You have no idea why this person is fleeing, right?
Correct.
You have no idea why this person has a gun, correct?
Correct.
Same hypothetical, sir. You know that someone running with a gun in a residential neighborhood is dangerous, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you're trained to identify yourself as law enforcement
Correct.
and give commands, correct?
Correct.
You're trained to tell the person to drop the weapon.
Correct.
You're trained to be loud, right? And forceful, correct? Your attempt at that point is to gain compliance with that person in an attempt to get them to drop the weapon, correct?
Yes.
Now, if you see them drop the weapon and immediately put their hands up, you would move in for an arrest, correct?
Yes.
That's what your training would tell you to do, right?
Correct.
Your training would tell you to go ahead, move in, and apprehend that suspect, right?
Yes.
Now, you know, sir, that even if someone is facing away from you, they can still be a deadly threat, right?
Correct.
Why is that, sir?
You can still shoot somebody with your back to them.
So you're
Yeah.
trained on that.
We are.
You're trained that somebody can point a weapon if their back is pointed to you.
100%.
Now, you've seen that happen before in training, correct?
Correct.
Where a person can be a deadly threat, even if their back is pointed to you.
Correct.
You know that person, even if their back is pointed to you, can make a slight turn and point that weapon at you, correct?
Correct.
Now, hypothetically, sir, same hypothetical, if instead of dropping the weapon, you see them turn and slightly point the gun in your direction, What does training tell you to do at that point?
To stop the threat,
To stop the threat. What type of threat is that, Detective Rosser?
deadly force.
It's a deadly force? So your training tells you to use deadly force to stop a deadly threat, right?
Correct.
Shouldn't you just shoot the person in the hand?
That's not feasible.
That's not feasible? Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury why it's not feasible.
That's strictly for the movies. You shoot center mass, and that's to stop the threat. Because shooting in the hand or the leg, even in the movies, it does not stop the threat. They can still attack you, can still kill you. They're still a deadly threat.
A person pointing a weapon at you, that's absolutely a deadly threat, right? No doubt about that, Detective Rosser.
None.
It's an immediate deadly threat, correct?
Correct.
An action is always faster than a reaction, correct?
Correct.
And now you're trained, Detective Rosser, that an immediate threat of serious physical harm or death to an officer or others will permit him to respond with deadly force, correct?
Correct.
So if you saw a gun being pointed at you in that same hypothetical, sir, you would not hesitate to pull the trigger, right?
Correct.
You would need that deadly threat.
Slow it down a little bit.
I
She's
apologize,
gonna
sir.
scream at me.
I apologize, Miss Sue. You would meet that deadly threat with deadly force, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in that moment that that gun is pointed at you, you don't look and see if the safety's on in that gun, do you?
No.
You don't have time for that, do you? Why don't you have time for that?
It's life or death. They don't have time to check for if that gun functions, if it has a magazine, if the safety's on. As far as I know, that gun is loaded and it's ready to fire.
That's what you're trained, correct? Assume every gun that's being pointed at you is in fact loaded, right? You have to assume that that firearm is loaded, right? In that moment, you don't have time to say, hold on, wait a second, let me see if that gun is loaded. Go ahead and take the magazine out, right?
No.
You don't have time for that, do you?
Do not.
Now, in that whole scenario and hypothetical that we just walked through, what started as a typical felony stop escalated very quickly into a deadly force encounter, correct?
Correct.
A deadly force encounter that you are permitted by law to use deadly force, correct?
Correct.
You're allowed to defend yourself, right, Detective Rosser?
Correct.
Who was in fault in creating that deadly threat in that hypothetical, sir?
The other individual.
The other individual, the one who pointed the firearm at you in that hypothetical?
Correct.
Thank you. Now I want to talk to you about extended magazines for a moment. Extended magazines are distinct to you for a couple different reasons, right?
Yes,
One is that if I'm holding a weapon, you can see the extended magazine, correct?
that's correct.
It's not flush how you would normally hold a weapon, right?
Correct.
So in your experience, detective, you're trained to look for extended magazines, right?
Correct.
You have an eye for looking at that, right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
identifying extended magazines.
Correct.
In your experience, Detective Rosser, an extended magazine, you would agree with me when I say that it makes a deadly weapon even deadlier, correct?
Correct.
Because it has a capacity to fire more bullets, true?
True.
Now, you would know back in 2020, guns were a problem in the city of Columbus, correct?
Yes.
And you would know back in 2020, drive-by shootings are a problem in the city of Columbus, correct? Are you objecting, Mr. Sawyer? I'm sorry, I heard objection.
Sure.
I was going to post it, but thank you very much to Lovely. She bought 2 copies, and she goes, "Happy birthday, Diana. May your day be filled with love and sweet memories. Make a wish. P.S. Age is just a number, but cake is forever." Thank you, Lovely. On behalf of myself and Lady Di, I appreciate the 2 coffees. That's very generous of you. So thank you very much, my darling. So I did post just now about there are 2 trials upcoming. Where's the other one from? Hang on, let me check where the other one's from. Bear with me whilst I check where the other one is. The one I'm doing is going to be. Hang on. So there's one in Wisconsin, Josie Dickerman. I am not covering that one. So that should start tomorrow, I believe. I think the jury's been seated. They start tomorrow. The one I'll be covering is a trial in Florida. It's Florida versus Thomas Steen. 70-year-old Thomas Dean is charged with first-degree murder in the death of 15-year-old Kayla Rincon Miller. Co-defendant Christopher Horn Jr. has pleaded no contest to second-degree murder and is expected to testify. Investigators previously stated in a police report that Stein was not the gunman and that a third unidentified suspect may have been involved. Rincon Miller was walking with friends from a movie theater to a nearby McDonald's at the start of spring break, when she was fatally shot. So I think that'll be one I cover. I'm still going to cover this trial, but on proper Zoom because it's the audio is so bad. There's been like what six or eight people watching, so it's a little, it's not really high priority. But what I'll do is I'll stream that in a day and then stream this afterwards on probably 1.5 Zoom because Dave's not here, so fuck it. But because he'd be more interested in the other trial anyway, so that's what we'll do once it goes. So in the other trial, they were hoping to start opening statements tomorrow. However, there was the incident in the courtroom, outside the courtroom, where the two families argued or something. So the juries have been sent home. So there was Lady Di, I think it's the volume though, Di. Do you know what I mean? It's everyone else, all 11 of you here right now, be lovely and gift and coffees for my birthday. Thank you, Lady Di. I don't think they'll listen to you though, but thank you, my darling. It was 30 something. So it was okay earlier on. But I do think that most, like it is a struggle. Most of you have complained already about the audio in this, which I understand. I mean, as I say, I'm still gonna stream it, but if I'm being honest with you, like I'm definitely gonna stream it at 1.5 plus because it might even be 2 if I'm being honest with you, because it is a bit slow, so but I think we could do that easily though. Do you know what I mean? Because Dave's not here and Dave is the one that gripes the most. Do you know what I mean? So and they tend to be doing like 5-6 hours a day, so I think we could bash her out in like 3 hours, so yeah, that's what we'll probably do. So we'll watch Florida once it goes live. But tomorrow we'll start off with this trial, whatever happens to me, we'll watch it. And then when I can, we'll start the other trial. So that's what we'll do. By the time the trial starts, this might be even over. I have no idea, so, but we will finish this trial. I might even do it on a Saturday if I have to. Do you know what I mean? So to catch up with this trial. So we'll see how it goes. Right, let's go on. Dave's not here, so I'm gonna boost it a little bit, go 1.5 because yeah.
We were talking about guns before the break. As a Columbus Police detective, you're familiar with the difference.
To be fair, this woman is a fast talker, so if you do want me to slow it down, people let me know, because she does talk very fast.
Between semi-automatic and automatic weapons, correct?
Correct.
A semi-automatic weapon means one trigger pull, means one bullet comes out of that semi-automatic weapon, correct?
Yes.
You were issued a semi-automatic weapon back in December of 2020, correct?
Correct.
You didn't get to choose what weapon you were issued. The division issued you that weapon, right?
Correct.
Now, with respect to an automatic weapon can have multiple bullets exit the firearm with just one trigger pull, correct?
Correct.
In automatic weapons, such as a service rifle, were issued to people who were like on the SWAT team, correct?
Correct.
Again, those people did not get to select which firearm they were issued. That's above your pay grade. True?
That's true.
I want to talk to you about gun safety. As a Columbus police officer, you're familiar with gun safety, correct?
Correct.
You would agree with me when I say that when transporting a gun in a vehicle, if you're carrying it concealed or outside of your vehicle, it should be carried in a holster, right?
Or lockbox, one of the two, correct?
Holster or lockbox. You saw a holster clip on the body on that day, correct?
Yes.
The holster, the purpose of the holster is made so if a gun is in it, it's flush against your body, correct?
Correct.
It's made with the purpose so the gun doesn't fall out of the holster, correct?
Correct.
You have a holster, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've fallen with your gun in your holster before, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Has that gun ever fallen out of your holster when you've fallen before, sir?
No, ma'am.
It stays secure in the holster even when you've fallen.
Correct.
Basic rules of gun safety detective are to treat every firearm as loaded, correct?
Correct.
Never point it at something that you are not willing to shoot, right?
Correct.
Finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire.
Correct.
Want to switch gears and talk to you about SOFAST. SOFAST, as you discussed with Mr. Merkel, is a U.S. Marshals Task Force, right?
Yes.
You're tasked with apprehending violent fugitives, right?
Correct.
Part of so fast, you are deputized as a United States Marshal, but you're still cloaked with your Columbus police officer investigatory abilities, correct?
Yes.
We already talked about the weapon you were issued, but I want to talk to you a little bit more about the gear you were issued as part of this task force. As part of the SOFAST team, you have access to the encrypted U.S. Marshals channel, right?
Correct.
And I believe you had said that it was on your Columbus police officer radio, right?
Yes.
But not every Columbus police officer has access to that encrypted United States Marshals channel, right?
That's correct.
Only the members of SOFAST have access to that United States Marshals channel, true?
True.
Now, you have other markings on your uniform that identify you as U.S. Marshals, right?
Correct.
You have U.S. Marshals, a placard on the front and the back of your vest, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you weren't equipped with body-worn cameras back in December of 2020 while you were on the United States Marshals Task Force, right?
Correct.
That's something above your pay grade again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a memorandum of understanding between the marshals, right?
Yes.
They did not require you to wear a body-worn camera, right?
Correct.
In fact, they said you were not to wear body-worn cameras while you were participating in the SOFAST task force, correct?
Correct.
Now, you were describing your vest to Mr. Merkel. You said your vest was a hand-me-down vest, but there were other vests that your team members wore, right?
Correct.
Your vest, I think, was kind of flush with your shoulders.
I can't remember at this time because it's been so long since that vest.
Do you think that people from maybe SWAT or the Franklin County Sheriff's Office had different vests?
They did.
Fair to say that they're a little bit higher, they come off the shoulders a little bit higher
Probably.
than what your vest did? I want to talk to you, switch gears to December 4th of 2020. You had stated that you had attempted to execute a warrant at the Barbour household, true?
That's true.
And you're familiar with Kendall Barbour, right?
Correct.
Jason's familiar with Kendall Barbour, right? Now, you're done with your warrant work and it's around lunchtime, correct?
Correct.
It's a Friday, right? So you're headed back to the task force office, right?
Yes.
You pull off onto Estates Place, take a left onto Ferris.
Correct.
You're waiting at the light of Carl and Ferris.
Correct.
You don't have your radio on, do you?
I do not.
You're in the car with task force officer, I believe you said his name was Joseph Yorkowitz,
Correct.
and you are driving, right?
Yes.
So Mr. Yorkowitz is in your passenger seat.
Front passenger. Yep.
He doesn't have his radio on either, does he?
No.
Okay. All of a sudden, detective, you see Jason do a U-turn and pass by your truck, right?
Correct.
At first, you thought he probably left something behind, right?
Yes.
But then you were made aware that it wasn't something that he left behind, correct?
Correct.
Jason rolled down his window and you said he seemed panicked, right? He was scared, right?
Correct.
He was telling you that there's a guy with a gun, right?
Yes.
And so he pursues down Ferris Road, right?
Correct.
This is a high priority situation at this point. Fair?
Yes. Correct.
You know somebody has a gun, correct?
Correct.
And so you do a U-turn to follow Deputy Meade, right?
Yes.
So you follow Jason onto Ferris and he turns right onto Estates, correct?
Correct.
Now this isn't happening step by step by step, is it, detective?
No.
This is happening quickly, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is all fluid, correct?
Correct.
A dynamic, tense, rapidly evolving situation. Fair to
Correct.
say?
Yes.
Now, you follow Jason as he turns right onto Estates and you see him jump out of his truck and he runs to the tailgate area, right?
Correct.
You pull up, true?
True.
You don't have your gear on at that point, right?
Correct.
You're like, oh my gosh, I should get my gear on too, right?
Correct.
You see a male standing in the street, right?
Correct.
Jason alerts you to that guy, right?
Correct.
He says, down there, he's got a gun.
Correct.
You look down the street. Yes?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sorry.
You saw a male, right?
Yes.
That person looks at you, correct?
He's looking our way. Correct.
You say you don't have any gear on to protect yourself with, correct?
Correct.
So you grab your vest and your gun belt, true?
True.
You see Jason get in his truck and go toward the male who had just looked at you, right?
Correct.
You follow Jason.
Yes.
You don't turn your lights and sirens on at any point, do you, Detective Rosser?
No.
At that point, you don't need to, correct?
Correct.
You would agree with me that while you're in a chase of a person, it's probably best to not turn them on due to the gravity of the situation, how quickly it's evolving, right?
Correct.
Now, as Jason gets closer to the male, he picks up speed, correct?
Correct.
Now, I want to talk to you for a second, back up, about when you're at Sale and Estates, when you pull up next to Jason and you're getting your gear on. Fair to say Deputy Meade was closer to that person than you were, right?
Correct.
So Jason had a better look at that person, right? Now, you mentioned as Jason gets closer, the person takes off from a walk to a hurried pace to a full-blown sprint, correct?
Yes.
And what did you say that took you as, how do you perceive that situation, detective?
I perceive it just from my training that an individual is attempting to run on foot to flee from us.
Flee from you?
Correct.
And you don't know where that person is going, right?
Correct.
He takes off out of view, correct?
Correct.
Again, changing the dynamic of the situation, right?
Correct.
Now, at this point, you hear, show me your hands, correct?
Correct.
And then you hear gunshots, right? First commands, correct?
Correct.
And then gunshots, right? That's what your training tells you to do, correct?
Correct.
Again, this isn't happening in a step-by-step process, right? It's happening quickly, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You take off running to where you thought you saw Jason go, right?
Yes.
This, at this point, is emergent, correct?
Yes.
You grab your duty gun from the holster and threw your gun belt on the sidewalk, right?
Correct.
You have to be able to protect yourself, sir, in case something else happens.
Yes, ma'am.
You needed your firearm.
Correct.
Because last you knew, that person had a gun, right?
Correct.
You run to where Jason is and you see him outside of the fence, correct? Now, when you see Jason, Jason warns you, hey, that guy's got a gun, right?
Correct.
You approach the house at basically the same time.
Yes.
And when you approach the house, you see Mr. Goodson in the threshold of the door, correct?
Correct.
Now, Jason pulls and rolls him over, right?
Correct.
And after Jason pulls and rolls him over, you see a handgun, correct?
Correct.
And it's a semi-automatic handgun, correct?
Yes.
With an extended magazine, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at this point, detective, you know that the house isn't clear, right?
Correct.
Jason tells you, hey, the house isn't clear, right?
Yes.
That becomes a priority of yours, correct?
Yes.
You have to clear the house because this is a risky situation, right?
Correct.
You don't know who's in the house.
Correct.
You don't know what this person was getting into.
Correct.
You don't know how many people are in the house.
Correct.
You don't know if there are any threats in the house, right?
Correct.
So it becomes your duty to then clear the house, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You hit your banner and immediately call for a medic as soon as this is all occurring, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You see a door to your left that's jammed as you walk into the house, right?
Correct.
You have to kick that door down to see into what would have been the living room.
I do.
You see a man in the living room with a small child and a Rottweiler, right?
Correct.
You give him loud verbal commands, correct?
Correct.
Jason's giving commands at this point, right?
Correct.
You hear a lot of people yelling, correct?
Correct.
Fair to say you could have used profanity.
Definitely.
Why definitely, sir?
To gain verbal compliance, and just the chaotic nature of the incident, I'm going to use cuss words.
It's a highly stressful, chaotic situation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You use profanity to alert the people in the house that this is a serious situation, right?
Correct.
Not just for your safety, correct?
For theirs as well.
But for theirs as well. True?
True.
So Joseph Yorkowitz was third in the door, you would say?
Correct.
He's screaming as well?
Possibly, but I don't know.
Fair to say you tell Yorkowitz to take the position to hold where you are, right?
I do.
And then you go past the kitchen to try to clear the front part of the kitchen where you had marked for Mr. Merkel, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You see two females running out at different times, correct?
Correct.
So a lot of chaos going on in this house, right?
Yes.
You see another dog come out, right?
Correct.
At that point, sir, it's not your job to focus on where Jason is, right?
Correct.
Your job is to clear the house, correct? Make sure all of you are safe, right?
Correct.
Officers and civilians included, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to control the chaos as best you can, right?
Yes.
So it's not your job to focus on or track Jason all over the house or where he was going, right?
No, ma'am.
Now, at that point, sir, a lot of law enforcement agencies begin to show up, right?
Correct.
You remember Task Force Officer Todd Barnhart showing up.
Correct.
Todd is a member of the SOFAS team?
Yes. Or was.
Todd-
Or he was.
He was,
Yes.
yes. Todd wasn't with you or Joseph Yorkowitz in the car, right?
Correct. He was not.
So you direct Todd to begin CPR, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the victim first has to be handcuffed, right?
Correct.
That's standard procedure, correct?
Yes.
Tell the members of the jury why that's standard procedure.
Safety issues. Usually, especially with a firearm, one gun is always the +1 rule. If there's one gun, there's a second gun. Personally, I've had arrests where individuals had 2 or 3 guns on their person. So you always handcuff so to secure, make sure you can pat them down, search them, make sure they don't have another weapon or firearm on them where they pose another risk to yourself or to other officers or to anybody else. And then if you need to if you need to uncuff to administer aid, we can uncuff to administer aid after we've made sure everything is secure and there's no longer a threat that's being posed.
Now, again, that's what you're trained to do, correct?
Correct.
You have to make sure that that person, according to the +1 rule, doesn't have another firearm on them, right?
Correct.
Again, that's for officer safety, correct?
Correct.
And civilian safety, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, while you were in that kitchen, detective, there were a ton of law enforcement officers in and out of that kitchen, right?
Yes.
That kitchen area is small and confined, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have to make sure that the house is safe for the medics before they can even get in to render aid, right?
Correct.
Todd was doing CPR when the medics finally came in to relieve him, right?
Correct.
Now, you warn the medics, you say, hey, there's a firearm right there, right?
I believe so.
You have to alert them to a firearm being there for their safety, right?
Correct.
Now, eventually, Detective Rosser, you see someone take Jason away, right?
Correct.
You're familiar with what officer support is, Detective, right?
Yes.
You're trained on officer support, correct?
I'm not an officer support officer, but yes, I am trained on what they do.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what officer support does.
Officer support is essentially the officer that comes in and I'm not gonna say take custody of the officer that was involved in a critical incident, but they, I don't know how to word it,
They offer support.
officer support, and then they take that officer to an undisclosed location away from the scene.
Officer support people have guidelines to follow, correct?
They do.
Basically, it's an emergency psychological first aid for officers who have been involved in a critical incident, correct?
That's correct.
Fair to say an officer-involved shooting is in fact a critical incident, right?
It is.
And to your knowledge, sir, officer support was developed based on psychology, right? Now, the goal, sir, is to remove the officer safely and quickly, correct?
Correct.
You're not supposed to ask the involved officer the details of what occurred, right?
That's correct.
In fact, officers who are in critical incidents are trained to only give the bare minimum of what occurred to get the people and the medics there safely, right?
Correct.
And other officers to make sure that they're safe as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what they're trained to inform them of, correct?
Correct.
Not the details of what occurred, right?
Correct.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Detective. I appreciate you taking the time to be here this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you redirect? Briefly, Your Honor. Detective Rosser, Ms. Stevens spoke to you about this hypothetical. Your experience as patrol officer, you are wearing a uniform, is that right?
Correct.
And your experience as a task force officer is you're not wearing a uniform, is that right?
Correct.
Why?
I'm wearing, well, if we're working a case, I'm wearing tactical gear. I guess that's considered our uniform, so I apologize, but we're not wearing like a patrol officer uniform.
You're not readily identified as a police officer.
Yeah, it's different.
And in patrol, which is is where you interact more and more with the public, you wear uniforms so that everybody knows you're a police officer.
Correct.
Correct.
But that's why we also wear the patches, so we're readily identifiable.
And you drive a marked cruiser, and if you're on patrol and you want to stop someone, how do you do that? What tools do you have in the cruiser?
Lights and sirens.
Pardon me?
Lights and sirens.
Alerts them, not only that you're a police officer, but that you want them stopped.
Correct.
Those tools were available to Mr. Meade on December 4th, 2020, right?
Correct.
His truck had lights and sirens.
Yes, sir.
But he chose not to use them.
Correct.
And he chose not to use them before any foot chase or whatever. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Stevens talked about someone with their back to you can be a threat.
Yes, sir.
Simply having their back to you, even if you know they are armed, that's not automatically a deadly threat, is it?
Not automatically.
In fact, it only becomes a deadly threat if there's a turn and point. Is that true?
You don't have to turn.
Well, a point.
Point. And
Talked about weapons. Have you ever fired an automatic weapon?
No.
Have you seen them fired
probably
at the
YouTube,
range?
probably YouTube videos or something, or Instagram, but I've never fired one.
How about at the range?
I don't think so.
Have you seen when you've seen it maybe on a YouTube video, what happens with the barrel as the burst comes out? Raises, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, that's part of the training is to learn how to adjust for the raise, right?
Right.
And in fact, officers, military, they're taught to shoot in bursts, right? Short bursts.
I would assume. I don't know. I'm not military, so I'm sorry, I can't answer that.
Okay. Did you handcuff Mr. Goodson?
No.
You know who did?
I have no idea.
Ms. Stevens asked you about, when you were taking command of the house, using profanity, directing commands, and you said, or she said, and he was making commands too. Did you hear him?
I heard screaming. I don't know what it was.
Okay, 'cause
I couldn't tell you.
You weren't paying attention to what
My focus wasn't on what he was saying. My focus was on what I had going on in front of me.
you don't know. You were focused on what you were focused on, holding the room later in the kitchen, but also checking to the left as you enter.
Correct.
And if I'm understanding your testimony, you weren't concerned with tracking what Mr. Meade was doing, and you just don't know.
I don't know what he was doing. That's not my job.
Precisely. So whether he was issuing commands or making inquiry or whatever, you don't know.
I don't know what he was saying. Correct.
And you certainly were not making any inquiry of the residents there about why is this person coming into the house with a gun or anything like that.
No, my job was to keep people from coming out.
Behind when he headed on down the stairs. Is that correct?
Correct.
I mean, you guys weren't geared up. He wasn't allowing his team enough time to be there with him. Is that correct?
Correct.
In what you observed, did you see any efforts by Mr. Meade to de-escalate the situation? That you observed?
I mean, show me your hands is a verbal de-escalation. I don't.
Okay, show me your hands.
That's a verbal de-escalation, as in show me your hands. And so I would say her, not stall. There wasn't time to, I guess, see. It was happening so quickly and right here, right now. There was no time to try other de-escalation tactics. That doesn't always apply. Sometimes all you have is the verbal.
Briefly on it, thank you. Detective, you remember Mr. Merkel just talking to you about your uniform as a U.S. Marshal Task Force member not being easily identifiable as a police officer, correct?
Correct.
You would recognize a picture of you from that day on December 4th, 2020, right?
Yes, ma'am.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Let the record reflect that I am handing the witness what has previously been marked for identification purposes as Defendant's Exhibit G. Sir, you recognize that document, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That is a picture of you in the kitchen on December 4th, 2020, right?
Correct.
And what does it say on your uniform?
U.S. Marshal Police.
In large letters?
Correct.
May I publish, Your Honor? Pretty easily identifiable as a police officer. What did you say, detective?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk to you about Mr. Merkel's question about how Jason left you and Yorkowitz behind. Do you remember that question that he had asked you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when Jason pursued the person on foot, that person was leaving, right?
Correct.
He had a gun, right? He didn't know where he was going, right? Jason didn't know where he was going, right? You didn't know where he was going, correct?
Correct.
He didn't have time. He had to go and pursue that person, correct?
Correct.
Because he was going toward a house, right? With a gun, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Merkel asked you about de-escalation tactics. Do you remember those questions, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think you were saying that those de-escalation tactics were such that drop the gun, correct?
Right.
You're trained on to give verbal commands as a de-escalation tactic, correct?
Right.
And if those verbal commands don't work and that person turns and points the firearm at you, what are you to do in that situation, sir?
Respond with deadly force.
Respond with deadly force. Thank you, detective. Nothing further.
Russell, you can sit down.
Yeah, I so far I don't see how they're gonna get a guilty verdict on this. I mean, only because I think the defense doing well. These are all prosecution witnesses, and they've turned them all into defense witnesses. To be quite honest with you, in a lot of ways. So I don't know. I don't see how you can find him. Like, I'm not saying that he's not guilty of this, but so far, the worst thing, there's no body cameras or anything like that. So it's you have to be beyond a reasonable doubt, and so far I'm not beyond a reasonable doubt. And again, I'm not justifying what happened here whatsoever, but I just can't tell. You can't prove to me that he didn't flash his gun. So, right, let's get back into it. They're still going live. Live-wise, we're about 35 minutes behind, so it's not too bad.
Name, for ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please.
My name is John Standley.
And Sergeant Stanley, where were you employed?
I'm a retired Columbus Police Sergeant.
How many years were you a Columbus police officer?
A few months over 31 years.
And when did you retire?
August of last year.
During your time on the Columbus Police Force, well, I guess let's go to your last assignment, which was what?
I was a sergeant in a crime scene search unit.
Okay. Tell us what the crime scene search unit is.
We were tasked or are tasked with investigating serious crimes against persons such as homicide or robberies or felonious assaults, serious scenes.
How long were you a sergeant with the crime scene search?
My last 9 years.
When you say you were tasked with investigating incidents, were you specifically tasked with certain aspects of those investigations?
Correct.
Processing scenes?
Correct.
Tell us what that means when I say processing scenes.
We would typically photograph the scene and evidence. We would mark and collect evidence from the scene. And we have specialized equipment that if we had to get on a roof or if we had to cut things down to get to evidence, we have those type of things too. So we would actually handle the physical scene itself.
On December 4th, 2020, were you a sergeant in the crime scene search unit?
Yes.
And were you called to a shooting scene at 3996 in States Place on that day?
I was.
And who made the request for you to be there?
I was notified by personnel in headquarters, the receptionist, I believe.
And did you respond by yourself, or was there a team of detectives that responded?
I initially responded myself, and subsequently my team that was on duty that day came as well.
And those people would be who, if you recall?
There were 3 on duty that time. Linda Gibson was one, Sonny Williams, and John Ball were their names.
And of those 3, are any of them?
Linda's retired. I'm not sure about John. Sonny's still working on duty.
Now, since I guess all told there were 4 of you that responded, did you all do the same tasks?
No.
Okay. are divvied up.
Correct.
You guys have seen these. You've seen. I'm going to show you a stack of photos here. Look through those. I believe they're marked State's Exhibit 2P, I think is the first one. And they go through State's Exhibit 2. This last one.
VW, I believe.
3 W's, triple W, through 2.
That's actually my last one's 2. V as in Victor, 3 of those. VVV.
Okay.
Your Honor, there's no need for the detective to look at all of them. Mr. Merkel could publish them whenever he wants.
Are these a portion of the photographs that were taken of the scene that day?
Yes, sir.
Among other things, the crime scene search unit does, you prepare a sketch of the scene.
Yes.
I'm going to show you the mark is 2 triple Y and 2 triple X. Recognize those?
I do.
What are those?
They're blown up parts of the scene from that day on December 4th, 2020. And it has my notations on there when I was at your office, and we noted photograph locations and what things were photographed.
Those are the red marks on there?
Correct.
And explain to the jury how you mark those.
Looking at the photo, Detective Gibson took the photos that day, but I know from looking at the photos what direction the photos were taken at and of where she was approximately standing, and I marked said photo with arrows, and if it was a down shot, I drew a circle to note that there was no particular direction, it was just down.
And 2 triple X is pretty much the exterior of the residence, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then 2 triple Y is the kitchen and the living room area of the residence, is that right?
Yes.
Overhead here. I'm not going to go through all of these, but let's go through several of them. Start with State's Exhibit 2 triple A. And there are cones in the photograph. What were those there originally, or those been placed there?
Those were placed by my team.
And those cones are marking what?
Individual items of evidence that were going to be collected and photographed.
Okay, and this particular photograph shows what portion of the premises?
This is the kitchen.
Okay, kitchen floor?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 2 triple C. And what is that photograph depicting?
That was a semi-automatic handgun that was located on the kitchen floor.
Okay. And that was its location when you all began processing the scene?
Correct. Yes, sir.
In the order of things, when are the photographs taken? Are they taken at the end or at the beginning, or when?
We refer to ourselves as the last responders. We're pretty much the tail end of everything. So this is at the end.
Right, but in terms of your processing of the scene, when are you taking the photograph?
The photographs are basically, the order is that we would meet with the scene lead detective, find out what is evidence, what needs collected and marked, and those cones would be placed down at that time, noted of what the item is, and then photographs would follow.
Show you what's been marked as 2 triple D. You recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do, sir.
What is that?
That's a bullet projectile, we refer to it.
Okay, and that was on the floor of the kitchen?
Correct.
Photograph 2 triple E. What is that depicting?
Now, that's a skull cap, I believe.
Okay, how about the white things on either side of it?
AirPods?
Okay. And those were on the kitchen floor?
Correct.
Show you what's been marked as 2GGG. What's that photograph depicting?
That represents a projectile that we removed from inside the microwave.
Okay, that's the damage to the microwave,
Correct.
and you were able to take a projectile out of that?
I wasn't, my team did.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Somebody from your team. State's Exhibit 2JJJ. What that depicts,
I believe that's the edge of the kitchen where it would lead to a hallway.
back where the bedrooms were.
Correct.
State's Exhibit 2LL. What is that depicting?
That's the living room area.
State's Exhibit 2PP. Let's see if I can. You recognize what that depicts?
That is a picture of a photo of the front door area from the living room.
The front door or side door?
I'm sorry, side door.
Okay. And it has keys in the door?
Correct.
And that is the way it was positioned and found by you and your team when you guys processed the scene?
Yes.
Show you what's been marked as 2QQQ. And what's that depict?
That's a wall above the sink.
Okay. And are there defects in the wall?
There were.
State's Exhibit 2RRR.
That is notes, holes or damage done to the middle picture that's how I referred to it on that wall. It was labeled apples and had more than one apple. And that was just a close-up view of that position.
What's this right here?
That appeared to be a bullet strike hole.
SSS.
Same type of, that was to the frame if you're facing that middle picture, this is the picture to its right. And there was a projectile at the edge or stayed in that position to that hole. Yes, sir.
Right where I'm pointing?
Correct.
Okay. 2TT.
That is a hole that I placed there to try and find the bullet that had made the larger hole from a few pictures ago. We removed those two pictures, and that was an attempt at locating the bullet that had went inside that wall.
Okay, so you actually removed that absent piece of drywall there.
Correct.
Were you successful in finding a bullet?
We were not.
And tell us about that. I believe you consulted with the scene detective.
I did. I was hoping, or initially thinking, that bullet could be right on the other side of that portion, and it would become apparent. And when it didn't, there's a gap between the outside wall or that far wall, and I would have had to remove an extensive portion or take down the cabinets themselves because it appeared it had fallen down due to gravity or lodged in a far wall. So I consulted with Detective Mounts on I didn't want to cause a terrible amount of damage with the family having to come back in there. And he stated, let's just leave it at this point.
Now, I guess while we're looking at photographs, move you to, I think this was several days later, but I want to show you a stack of photographs that are marked 5J through 5BB. Ask you if you recognize those photographs.
I do.
What are those?
Several days later, I don't have that particular report in front of me, but the lead detective Hughes contacted me and asked if I would remove clothing items that I believe were Mr. Goodson's and take photographs of them at our lab.
So those are, if I use the term posed photographs, those would be,
Yes, sir.
meaning that you set them up, laid them out, and posed the item and then photographed it.
Correct.
And the purpose of that was to show the condition of the clothing
Correct.
and any holes in it and so forth.
Any holes or tears is what he wanted me to document.
And you did that.
I did.
Now, on December 4th, while still at the scene, were you asked to collect or photograph and collect any other items?
I was.
What is that?
Photograph Deputy Meade and collect his firearm that he used during this incident.
Angie, what's been marked as State's Exhibit 3F through 3F. Would you look at those photographs and tell us you recognize what those are?
These are photographs of Deputy Meade, front and back, of how he was, what he was wearing and how he presented himself that day, and of his firearm that was used during this incident, and of the ammunition that was collected.
Show you a photograph of 3F, and that's the photograph of Deputy Meade.
Correct.
And it's got, this is, he's got the body armor on, is that correct?
Yes.
What is the yellow thing?
I believe that was a taser.
The taser? Tell us what a taser is.
That's a non-lethal weapon that police are issued that can be used in various situations.
You know how they work?
I believe so. Yeah, generally they have hooks that are spring-loaded and punch out when the trigger's pulled. And the idea is to lock into a person that you're aiming at, and there's an electrical charge that goes through wiring into the probes that are in the person, and it's supposed to lock up the major muscle groups of that person and help them to comply or to get under arrest or whatever the situation is.
So it would incapacitate a person if you strike them with a taser?
It is supposed to.
You know the general range of a taser?
The ones I carried were about up to 21 feet.
Okay, so 21 feet and inside, if you're within range, beyond 20 or 21 feet, the taser's not going to reach you.
Just due to gravity and the arc of it's going to take, it only goes out so far before it would just hit the ground.
We approach. Really?
Yeah, that was bizarre that, he's definitely not using a taser. Like I say, I just don't think that there's reason, there's definitely reasonable doubt here. Again, I'm not saying that the officer was within his right or whether he was right to do it. The issue is, fucking hell, better late than never. I was saying nice things about you earlier on as well. Sarapi, 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 Sarapi is lovely.
Got several things in this box. First being, which would be a rifle. You could examine that.
What would that be?
It would be the magazine.
Okay. Yes, sir. I do.
And what is that?
That's the magazine that belongs in this weapon that I removed from it.
Okay, was that magazine loaded at the time?
It had one round missing, so it was 29. I say missing, it wasn't completely loaded.
Live rounds in it, or were there some shell casings that had been recovered from the scene?
This would hold live rounds.
I'd like you to look at.
We need the screen down.
Well, that'd help. Sorry.
I feel sometimes it's me against the chat. No matter what I do, the chat always against me. I'll remember. I'll remember. Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Put the Chevy
This
to
is
the
State's Exhibit 2H. You recognize what those cones are marking?
Yes,
What are they marking?
they marked 6 spent casings.
And the photograph documents their location. Those were subsequently collected.
Yes,
Now, when you collected the weapon, did you do a bullet count at that time?
yes.
Okay. How many bullets do you recall counting, or actually something in there? The 3C.
Yes. Mhm. Okay. We accounted for 29 rounds.
Okay. And that in part was using the shell casings that are depicted in State's Exhibit 2H.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there were 23 rounds there in 3D and 3C.
There were 23 rounds in the weapon when I collected it, and 6 rounds had been fired that we found the casings outside, which gave 29.
Okay. And Sergeant, all of the items that you testified to and that were collected that day, photographs, were these items collected in the normal procedure of crime scene search unit as in processing a scene?
Yes,
When you collected the firearm, do you fill out a form documenting that?
correct.
I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 3. You recognize that?
I do.
What is that?
That's a recovered firearm form.
And tell us what information is contained on there.
The date and time I recovered it, from who I recovered it from, the description of the weapon, how many cartridges were in the weapon, and their lineup in the magazine and chamber and so forth.
Okay. Sergeant Stanley, the doorway on the side door, there was a storm door on there, was there not?
Yes,
And was that photographed as well?
yes.
And was there a reason that it was photographed?
It appeared to have holes in it.
Okay. Show you what's been marked as upside down.
State's Exhibit 2R. Is that the storm door
Yes, sir.
and the holes that you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also took photograph 2GG. Is that a photograph of the stoop there?
Yes, sir.
And what's on there?
It appeared to us to be blood,
Well, blood, but
glass.
okay. And did that seem or did that appear to have come from the storm door right above it?
Correct.
Sergeant, thank you. I don't believe excuse me. Thank you, Sergeant. I don't believe I have any further questions.
Any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor, procedurally. Sure. Thank you. I'll put in grab some.
Counsel will approach.
Appreciate you. Now, this scene was a little bit different because it was a certain scene, correct?
Correct.
And certain, ladies and gentlemen, jury means a critical incident response team, right?
That's correct.
And that's kind of the elite and the more senior type of detectives involving any critical incident, correct?
Yes.
And you know in advance that you're going to be reviewed many different ways, and so you want the best people in there doing the best job, correct?
Yes.
And Detective Hughes was the cert lead detective, right?
Yes.
And on the scene that day, you also have a scene detective, and that's was Detective Mounts, correct?
Yes.
He's in charge of you and your 3 other people, correct?
Correct.
He makes the determinations of what to do, where to go, things of that nature.
We consult with him. Yes.
And so, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, get the time frame. You're there about 2-3 hours after, correct?
Roughly. Yep.
Okay. And you have no idea how the stuff was positioned at the time of the incident. You can only report as to what you see at that point in time.
That's correct.
Things have been pointed out. You guys put the cones down. You're trying to document, right?
Correct.
Transient evidence can be moved, correct?
Yes.
And the scene, depending until it's contained, is subject to contamination, correct?
Yes.
By contamination, I mean something might have been moved accidentally, something might have been stepped on, things of that nature, right?
Yes.
And when you're photographing and getting some instructions from Detective Mouse, you don't know what's relevant to the case. You're just trying to do a thorough and complete job.
Correct.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on that day, Detective Talaferio was not at the scene, correct?
Correct.
She had nothing to do with gathering evidence on December 4th, right?
Correct.
And you had nothing to do with the car involved in the situation, correct?
Correct.
You didn't take any pictures, you didn't analyze it, you had nothing to do with the car at that aspect.
Correct.
Now, you can only photograph items when you get there, correct?
Correct.
All right. And Mr. Merkel talked about the door with the holes in it, correct? This is Defendant's Exhibit I, right?
Yes.
You have no idea how that door was positioned when the incident took place, correct?
Correct.
You have no idea if it's been moved, open, shut 15, 20 times since then, right?
Correct.
Okay. And with regards to the glass, there was glass mainly in the threshold on the front porch, correct?
Correct.
And on the very inside of the house, correct?
Yes.
And you assume that that glass came from this picture, correct?
Yes. It's
Okay.
upside down with yes.
And that's, I'm sorry, that's Defendant's J, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then Defendant's K, that's the front stoop, right?
Yes.
Common sense and logic would dictate that the door had to be in some position to where the glass came down, right?
Yes.
You don't know how it came down or anything of that nature.
Correct.
Now let's talk about the tasers for a second, okay? You mentioned tasers as being non-lethal, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tasers don't go through a door, right?
No.
So if there's an object in between the person that the incident's with and the law enforcement officer outside, the tasers are moving, correct?
Correct.
The taser, you mentioned a key term was non-lethal, right?
Yes.
So if a barrel of a gun's pointed at you as a law enforcement officer, you're not going for the taser, are you?
No.
You're going for your gun, correct?
Yes.
And you're trained, if you see that barrel pointed at you, that's a deadly threat, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the taser's not an option, right?
No.
Now, with regards to Mr. Meade and these pictures, I think, and again, these are the same ones you've seen. We just put different labels on them to make it more expedited.
Okay.
This is Defendant's Exhibit N. You would look at one of those, correct?
Correct.
On there, this is a full uniform, and there's padding up on top over the shoulders, correct?
Yes.
That's the specific type of vest, right?
Yes.
And there's markings, and there's even neon colors, correct?
Correct.
And from the back, same thing, correct?
Yes.
I apologize about that's Defendant's Exhibit O, but when it's in focus, readily identifiable and things of that nature, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, you mentioned a couple of things on there. There were some defects in the wall. Mr. Merkel showed some pictures, right?
Yes.
Now, one, you found a projectile.
Correct.
Other one, you didn't.
Correct.
So you can't even say if that defect was from this situation.
Correct.
It could have been there before.
Correct.
There could be other markings in areas, but you were directed to try to look at certain steps.
Yes.
And that skull cap, you use the term skull cap. Explain to ladies and gentlemen what a skull cap is.
And I believe Sonny referred to it that day as a do-rag, but it's just goes, it's a tight fit around the top of someone's head.
So the tight fit on the top of the head, you're not going to see an afro, correct?
Correct.
You're not going to see a big hair or ponytail, right?
No.
The skull cap's tight on there, a do-rag. That's what Sonny called it. For Sonny, for the record, that's Sonny Williams.
Correct.
He was working the scene as well.
Yes, sir.
Now, and I apologize, I don't know the number. If you would just read for the number of that exhibit.
There's a lot of numbers on here. Sorry. Which one, number here?
Do you have the key for that one?
2G.
So this is handing you with some mark for identification purposes. It states exhibit 2G.
Okay.
Now, you testified on the record, because you examined that, gun and let us know if that's the same gun that you took.
Yes.
You can hold that up for the ladies and gentlemen, jury. Okay. And then the clip is 2H. If you can pull that out. Okay. That's an extended magazine clip, right?
It is.
Explain to the ladies and gentlemen, jury, what that is.
Extended magazines holds more bullets.
And they come out from beneath the gun.
It's not yes, it's not flush. It doesn't come originally with the gun. It's a side, an added on piece.
Now, you took pictures of that, right?
Detective Gibson did. Yes, sir.
Anytime I say you, I'm
I get it.
the whole group.
Yes, sir.
I've only got till 4:30.
I understand.
So when you took, that had blood on it, right?
Correct.
And that your understanding is it was then sent for DNA and swabs and stuff like that, correct?
We swabbed it, but yeah, it was tested. Yes, sir.
Then it goes to a lab and the results come back.
Correct.
Those are sent to lead detective Arquez.
Correct.
And there's a lot more photographs that were taken by your team at the scene. I mean, there's a tremendous amount, correct?
142, I believe. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, when you went to, you had to have a conversation with my client about the ammunition in his service rifle, correct?
Correct.
And let me start back. I apologize. What weapon did you carry? What service handgun did you carry when you were involved?
That time we had a Smith & Wesson 40 or 9mm. I'm sorry.
And that's dictated from the chain of command what you're supposed to be able to carry, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to qualify that, right?
Yes,
And what you might have might be different than what patrol has, correct?
it is.
Okay. And what patrol has versus what you have versus what the CPD SWAT team, there's going to be different service weapons, correct?
Correct.
So a service rifle may be on the SWAT team, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And again, those people have to qualify and certify with that before they're able to carry that.
Yes.
Individuals don't make the decisions of what to carry, correct?
No, sir.
It's dictated by the need and the necessity for each different division.
Yes.
Undercover officers might use a tiny gun, correct? Because they don't want anybody to feel it or have it, correct?
Correct.
When they're undercover. Now, you had to have a conversation with my client, and tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, when something is fired, what normally the casing, how's it ejected?
To the right, there's an ejection port that it'll just shoot to the right.
So if I'm pointing this way, and the casing would go to the right.
Correct.
Now, on Jason's service thing, there was a deflector, right?
There was.
And a deflector because he's left-handed, correct?
I'm not sure.
Did you ask him if he was left-handed?
I can't recall whether I did or not.
The deflector moves it to the right as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And with the deflector, it maybe goes shorter, farther, but it's supposed to go to the right.
Correct.
Now, December, you don't know the wind out there, stuff like that, but those things, depending on the type of ammunition, there's lighter shell casing, correct?
Correct.
Versus heavier shell casing, right?
Yes, sir.
All of that could be transient, but for the general part, that picture that you showed, they were all in the same area, correct?
Yes, sir.
Logic would dictate that the person was outside the fence who shot that because everything went to the right.
I agree with that.
If inside the fence, it would have never made it over the fence.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
And then there was a count with regards to the clip for Mr. Meade's service rifle held 30, correct?
It did.
Okay. You had 6 shell casings, but you only had 23 left, right?
Correct.
You're missing one, right?
Correct.
You went to Mr. Meade, and without telling him those things, you asked how many does he normally start with?
There was a conversation. Yeah, I can't remember the exact words I used, but there was a conversation I had with him concerning that.
But you didn't tell him, hey, we got 6 shell casings, I only have 23. You asked him, how many do you normally start with, and what did he tell you?
Correct. 29.
So that makes sense.
It does.
He didn't know why you're asking it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, when someone fires a semi-automatic firearm like you were issued, you have to pull the trigger each time for one shot, right?
That's true.
And you're also, where fully automatic, you only have to pull the trigger once, and multiple projectiles will come out.
Yes.
It will burst.
Yes.
You don't know how many are coming out, depending on how long you pull the trigger.
That's correct.
The shorter you pull the trigger, a few come out, but it will empty. If you hold the trigger the entire time, all 29 would empty.
That's true.
Okay. And you were trained in your use of force stuff, Sergeant, that you shoot a deadly threat until the threat is stopped.
Yes.
Back in 2020, is it fair to say that body-worn cameras were just kind of the new item that was being put out?
Yes.
You've worked with multiple jurisdictions on some crime scenes, correct?
Correct.
Some jurisdiction had body-worn cameras, others did.
That's true.
And again, that comes from the chain of command, not the individual officer.
Correct.
Had you worked with So Fast before on any other scenes that you were involved with?
Once or twice. I can't recall. Maybe twice.
And you're aware of the purpose of it, correct?
Correct.
If someone, based on your training, Sergeant, has a gun they're facing away from you, they still could be a threat, correct?
That's correct.
Why so, Sergeant?
If they're armed, they can still shoot.
And if the gun comes back at you, do you have time to determine if the safety's on?
No.
You have time to determine if the gun Guns operable?
No,
Do you have time to tase them?
no.
Okay. What are you trying to do in that situation, sir?
Shoot to protect yourself till the threat's over.
Where do you shoot, sir?
Center mass?
You don't shoot in the hand or try to hinder the leg? or anything like that?
No, sir.
May I have a moment, Your Honor? Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Any redirect?
Trained to only fire your weapon when there's an immediate deadly threat, correct?
Yes.
Sergeant, is there any more immediate deadly threat than a gun being pointed towards you?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break for the evening. Do not discuss this case among yourselves. Do not permit anyone to discuss it with you in your presence. It is your duty not to form or express an opinion on the case until it is finally submitted to you. If you can come back tomorrow, 8:45, you guys are doing a great job. I gotta pick up my pace.
Every time every blow the prosecutor lands, the defense land too. I mean, this is an impossible case. Anyway, they're done for the day. This is an impossible case to try, essentially, because there's no body cameras. There's nothing there. So you got to take the word of the officer that there was a gun. I mean, I just don't. Again, like it just gone by everything we know. I mean, there's more testimony coming in. Obviously, they saved the best at last. So currently, it's a not guilty. But like there's going to be nothing, I don't think, to show us that he didn't show. Like, could the officer done things differently? Yeah, he could have put his sirens on, I suppose. Do you mean there are things that he could have done? So, and because of that, I just don't see. I don't know. I just like that ended now saying, you know, is there anything more lethal than someone pointing a gun at you? So if he's saying the guy pointed a gun at him, he's justified to shoot. Do you know what I mean? Again, we got no way to disprove that. We got no way to disprove that he didn't point the gun. That's the problem, you know. So in terms of that, you have to go by the letter of law and say not guilty. Again, I'm not saying that he's innocent. I wasn't there. I don't know anything. We don't get to see anything. So, but you can't put somebody in prison. So I don't know. For those that you missed earlier on, I am going to be doing 2 trials. Moving forward. Well, not moving forward. I'm going to be doing a trial. I'll show you now. Just because that's the way I am. I'm generous towards you. Do you know what I mean? So even though I get abuse in chat, I still love some of you. So right, let's look at the other trials. So I presume it's going to start either tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday. What day is it today? Monday. Fuck, I'm lost on days. So this is the trial. Take that back, Lee. Take that back. I have fun on chat. I do have fun with you guys. So I like the fact that, and no one gets more abuse than Sarah P. So I appreciate Sarah P. I love Sarah P. She's great. Is that why Sarah P? Was that enough of a statement for you? Was that okay? New trial. Jury selection begins this morning. This was today. And we could have opening statements later today in Florida versus Thomas Stein. We don't. I'll tell you why in a second. So the case is a 70-year-old Thomas Stein. He is the one on trial. He is charged with first-degree murder in the death of 15-year-old Kayla Rincon Miller. His co-defendant, Christopher Horn Jr., has pleaded no contest to second-degree murder and is expected to testify. Investigators previously stated in a police report that Stein was not the gunman and that a third, unidentified suspect may have been involved. Rinka Miller was walking with friends from a movie theater to a nearby McDonald's at the start of spring break when she was fatally shot. So it should have been today. However, update. There was an altercation in the hallway during break between the defendant's family and victim's family members. Apparently, some potential jurors were in earshot. The judge now needs to question everyone about what they saw and heard. So that's why there'll be a delay. So I'm going to cover this and the Ohio one. So, because Florida time, it obviously starts normally at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So what I'll probably do is give a bit of a buffer so we can zoom. And at the end of each day, then I'll jump onto Ohio and play it like a 1.5 or 1.7 speed then for those that are interested. I know most people aren't interested in that one anyway. So, so we will have 2 trials. Now, some people say I'm a legend for doing 2 trials, but that's just the kind of guy I am. That's just the kind of guy I am, people. So don't brag too much to me. I'm a very humble guy. I don't need the plaudits. And also, there's another trial if you're interested in it. I am not interested in it, but if anybody was, the new trial is in Wisconsin. Jury selection began today with openings expected. No, so it wasn't this afternoon. The openings are starting tomorrow morning in Wisconsin. This is a first-degree intentional homicide in the death of a 6-year-old Alexia Pedrin. Authorities say Dickerman called 911 in February 2023 when the child was unresponsive, and an autopsy later revealed he died from blunt force trauma, with a sedative also contributing. Investigators allege a history of abuse, with witnesses reporting repeat violence and prior medical concerns, including a suspicious femur fracture before his death. Dickman was reportedly dating the child's father at the time of the little boy's death. She faces life in prison if convicted. So that is happening as well. Jury's been selected, opening statements tomorrow morning. So that is a new trial out in Wisconsin. People want to watch that on another channel somewhere else. But this is the one we will keep an eye on. Even if it starts tomorrow, I probably won't start it myself tomorrow. If, for instance, they start tomorrow afternoon, what I'll do is either play it tomorrow night after we play the Ohio one, or play it on Wednesday and play catch up with it. So we'll figure it out as we go along, and I will watch it live. Tomorrow I have the stream starting at 10:30 Eastern, which is 7:30 Josie time, which is Pacific time, and 9:30 Sarah P, Mexi, Erin Hack time, and 3:30 Baghdad's time. So, and then we'll hopefully skip the lunch break. So we'll watch that tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll get that out the way, and then we'll probably watch a new trial alongside the Ohio one then Wednesday onwards. So watch this space. We will do 2. And again, I want to play the Ohio one afterwards because I think there'll be less interest in the Ohio one. So, so we will very quickly go through that one. It'll probably be around 5 o'clock Eastern every night that we play it. So 10 o'clock my time. There you go. Sarah P telling me shut the fuck up and go. So thank you, Sarah, for the hint. I appreciate that, medallion. And that's it, everybody. We shall see you tomorrow during whenever. I don't know what I'm going to say. But yeah, we'll be most of it live. Well, whatever. I don't know what you want to talk about anymore. So I still got Jonathan's song in my head. Bex. Anyway, thank you everyone. Have a great evening and look after yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Hug your loved ones, and I shall see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and thank you, Lovely, for the 2 coffees. Thank you, Lady Di, for the 3 coffees. Happy birthday again to Carolyn. Happy birthday to Lady Di, and I hope you have a great evening, Lady Di, and you are spoiled rotten. And if not, I just hope you have a great night anyway. So, thank you everyone. Take care. Good night. Bex says.